Hey, how you doing? I'm going to get YouTube started here and we'll get the show going. I'm a few minutes early. So, we're going to go like this. As you enter, please tap the screen, like the live, share it out, do all of the very good things that you guys do. And we will get the live started.
It's a brand new day and she's back again. Get yourself a beverage, let's get settled in. It's Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. Hey, all our favorite heathens gathered in one place. All our questions answered, our favorite creators on display. It's Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. 3, 2, 1, get ready for the fun. Decon Q&A with CrystalJae.
Hey, you guys, how's everybody doing today? It is Decon Q&A with CrystalJae, and I am joined by Tommy J.
Can I hear that one more time? I came in late. I want to hear it one more time, please.
I said, welcome everybody to
No,
Decon.
the song.
Oh, you want to hear the song again?
Not my intro, although it was a lovely intro.
Okay.
I want to hear your song one more time.
Okay, I'll start over now.
It's a brand new day and she's back again. Get yourself a beverage, let's get settled in. It's Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. Hey, all our favorite heathens gathered in one place. All our questions answered, our favorite creators on display. It's Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get ready for the fun. Decon Q&A with CrystalJae.
That's my little theme song.
I love it. Say, get ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With CrystalJae. I love it.
Thank you. Okay, I have to admit, I didn't write the music. That was just a program, but I did write the lyrics, and I'm proud of my little lyrics there. So,
that's funny you say that. I use AI. I've been trying to tell people to use it for the same way. Like, you need a quick song for something that you're working on, and you want your own music to it.
yeah.
AI's your friend.
It is. It is your friend. And, I think you should always be honest about it. Like, don't be trying to say, like, I wrote this song. I obviously did not. I couldn't write a song, but I can write lyrics. And I thought those were cute.
I agree. I love the entire vibe of it. And then even in AI, you still have to, like, kind of describe some of what you want and pick,
Yeah.
Partner.
Hey, Jada.
Hey, so funny story. I forgot that you actually have us turn on our cameras, and I look like
you
I
don't have
afterwards.
to. You don't have
Oh
to.
no,
You do.
it's too late, Crystal. It's too late. I've been working, so I will be ready in about 5 minutes to go on camera. But I am here.
I was about to
All
say,
right.
Jada, I ain't wear my chest hairs out for nothing today. Come on now.
Look, seriously, I don't even know why I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, and Tommy gonna be on the camera? Oh, I can't even come on there looking shabby. I gotta look decent.
Well, I always want people to feel comfortable, so I just want you guys to know you do whatever makes you comfortable. You guys, I have a flash goal real quick, so if you can send me up a goat, they're only 1 coin each, and I need 5 different people now to send me up a goat. Okay, do you guys ever watch this show? And it's okay if you don't.
I do.
Okay. So you know how it works. I'm going to ask you a round of icebreaker questions. And then after I get done, we're going to invite people to come up, ask you more questions. Anything you don't feel comfortable, answering, you don't have to answer. But usually they're just about your deconstruction or what your content is about and what your interests are and so forth, So sometimes they ask about your deconstruction journey or, and then after that, we're going to play a fun game that everybody loves. Put a 1 in chat if you love the game Divine or Decline, because we're going to play Divine.
I'm so excited because this will be my first time on the panel when we playing. I'm so excited.
Okay,
the only reason I'm not excited is because I always give the wrong answer. I'm very competitive, Crystal.
Well, don't worry. Everybody does. The game is hard because, let's face it, when you're trying to figure out whether it's the Bible, the Book of Mormon, or the Book of Quran, they're all shitty, so they sound a lot alike, It happens. Okay, so are you guys ready for your icebreaker questions?
Ready.
Okay.
Ready.
All right. Would you rather always say exactly what you're thinking or never be able to speak again?
Never be able to speak again.
I would rather be able to say whatever I'm thinking.
Me too, because I think I do already. People tell me that I should shut up already, so I think I'm already saying exactly what's on my mind,
I think
I don't. Go ahead.
Nope. You go first.
I muted first. It's your turn.
I think I picked it for the same reason. Like, I think I talk too much. I've been trying to practice silence and listening more. I have a lot to say, and I think the things I have to say are nice, but yeah.
I'm practicing that too, Tommy. I really am. As a matter of fact, sometimes you'll hear people like Joel or Joyful or somebody tell me, "You're doing good." They know I'm trying to listen more. But what were you going to say, Jada?
I've actually spent the majority of my life curbing what I say because I was worried about people liking me for a very long time. So there's like 17 different people upstairs. So I would like to start talking outside of my head. So I'd rather just say whatever's on my mind.
Yeah, I get that. What's a song you secretly know all the words to but would never sing in public?
Like, never sing in public because
I don't know. Maybe it would embarrass you. Maybe it's a stupid
anything
genre.
by R. Kelly. Anything by R. Kelly. Here's my remix to Ignition, hopping fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body, got every man in here wishing. And I want to sing it. But yeah, anything by R.
But then
Kelly.
you can't. Yeah. What about you, Jada?
I don't know if I have any because I will still sing R. Kelly because the man was a lyrical genius as well as a musical genius. So that is one of those hills I'm okay with dying on because I understand everybody's plight, but musical geniuses are normally nuts. I'm not saying he got to make any money off of me anymore, but will I sing them? I can't say that I wouldn't. So I don't think I have a song that's on that list.
I think for me, it would be any Amy Grant song. And I know a lot of hers by heart, but I don't think I ever want to sing anything of hers in public again. I get it. It's kind of cringy thinking about certain worship songs that I used to be really into. Like there's some that I'm like, that's just good gospel. And I don't mind because it's just a great song, right? But then there's other songs that are obviously just Christian commercialism, if you will, like Amy Grant. So I think it would be her.
Now that you've said it, I would agree. Probably most Christian songs. About anything that involves me holding on to anybody's unchanging hand. Anything having to do with wanting to see people in the afterlife. All that stuff is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
I was like, who is
Very
Amy Grant?
difficult.
I was like,
Right.
oh, Christian contemporary music. Yeah, this one takes me out every time. I praise in the valley, I praise on the mountain. My praise is the weapon that my enemies drown in. Why you drowning people, bro?
Right.
And you're singing about it. You're happy, dude. What? Oh my gosh. Okay. If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be and why?
Guitar, because Prince. I'm like huge Prince fan. Um, I was expressing with Quan the other day. If you guys don't know who Quan is, you're missing out.
You are.
Period.
Follow the mutuals. But Quan, I had to break some unfortunate news to her, but Prince was also very problematic when it came to like control and narcissism
Yeah.
and how he treated the women around him. But he's my favorite artist of all time. And sometimes when I'm covering or working on some of his material, I wish I played guitar because I could do different things if I did. So that's one thing I wish I could just instantly master.
I would have to say it is the transitioning from high to low. I just can't seem to get it. The way people can seamlessly go from their chest voice to their head voice is immaculate to me, and I can't master it. So I literally have to take a breath before I do it. And so that would be one skill. And I know people say just work on it. I've been working on it for 20-something, 30-something years, and I still can't do it. So
No, I know professional singers who cannot do that, and they've been trying all their lives too. So no, that's a real talent that people have. Mine would be that I could sing it all. I love to sing. I love music, but I can't sing, and it's something I'm willing to accept about myself. But I enjoy, singing in my car and in my house. Okay. Would you rather time travel to meet your ancestors or jump forward to see your future descendants?
oh my God, that's a difficult one.
It's easy for me. I have no children yet, so Jada has some future to think about already. Real life in the right now. But I would love to have met some of my mother was adopted, and we recently found out that some of our family, or all of our family, her dad's side and her mom's side, they met in Berkeley. And we have a lot of history there. My cousin, who we got to meet and have lunch with, was the first female Black Panther, Tarika Lewis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Isn't it? Like, my grandfather before he got his degree, his bachelor's degree, he was the principal of a academy within Berkeley High School that was all Black. So every teacher you had was Black. You only went to a Black principal. You went to a Black nurse. You had a Black librarian. Like the whole academy within, it was like a magnet for Black students around other Black. And I'm just like, that's so like, it mirrored so many things that me and my mom are passionate about. So it was cool. But because she was adopted and because he passed away in his 20s, we've only got to meet some people. So yeah, I would have loved to meet more people on that side of my family.
That's
That
cool.
is super cool.
Really, huh?
Oh, you still need an answer from me. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I actually think I would want to go back and this is gonna sound so dark, but I would probably want to go back and talk to my ancestors because I'm looking for the strength in my family, and it's very difficult to find. I noticed that there's a lot of cowardly behavior, and I would like to know where was the strength because I don't see it in anybody else in my family, and I feel like I'm trying to find it within myself. So I would want to talk to my ancestors to find out how they got through all the traumatic times that lay before them from the past.
That would be really good too. Man, this was a good question. Why did I ask it? No. I am different. I think I would go forward because I think that I'm the person who, I didn't know I'd get emotional during my own show. I'm the person who said no more abuse. I'm the person who said the hatred stops with me. I'm the one who said no more bigotry. And I want to go forward and see how that changed things for my family. So, yeah, I want to go forward. I don't want to go back.
Absolutely. I feel that 100%. And I genuinely feel like if more people in my family were on that path, I would probably want to go forward. But
Yeah.
I mean, outside of my son, there's really nobody I can say in my family that's doing the deconstruction work, which that needs to be done in order for us to break generational curses. So I feel really alone in that. And going forward, I feel like outside of, and I don't mean to sound narcissistic when I say this, I'm really speaking out of experience of things that I'm really just now uncovering about my own family. But I just don't see it being something that anybody else will do because they genuinely have assimilated to the patriarchy through the Christian faith. And it's really difficult to believe that it would be different for anybody else other than my bloodline. So
Yeah.
that's, I think, half why I'm just kind of like, the future, not so much. Let me see where it started, where we lost touch with our ancestors to know why we're the way that we are. Because I mean, if it's in me, it's definitely in somebody else. But who else? I have no clue right now.
And I tell people, like, I do believe that, like, for instance, my dad was trying to break those generational curses. He just didn't, like, there were things that you could tell that he was like, oh, this is wrong, or what have you. But other things that it was like, but do you really get it, Dad? I don't know. You're still saying some pretty misogynistic things. You're just doing things that don't say the things, that you want. But I think he tried because, like, his father was like a worse person, like physically abused him worse, treated people worse, was just a nasty, horrible person. So I feel like you just see it, like each generation trying to heal, but it takes a lot to heal what these people have done, it does.
And I was just going to add to that, not just heal, but it starts with accountability, which is, like I said, from my family, the accountability is just not there. And it's easier to point fingers than it is to actually, even though they all use the same phrase, when you're pointing a finger, just three pointing back at you, they never seem to notice those three. And that's why I say for us, I just don't see those generational curses breaking because they're not even aware and taking accountability to what they're actually passing on.
Yeah, I agree. I say original family because I didn't grow up with them, but I come from one of 8 children, and then we split up when I was 3. So I didn't grow up with them, but I grew up with a family where we were 4, and they're all the same people. They're all blood related. They're all the same bloodline. And so I know that all their lines aren't going to change because I know none of them are changing, Right. But I just want to go forward and see where the 3 kids that I birthed and what they do with their lines, because I have no hope for those lines. I don't,
right.
Maybe their kids will change it or something, but my generation in those lines aren't going to change it.
Yeah.
Well, and right before we move to the next one, I also want to add that it takes people like us being brave enough to speak on and to let go of things like this that stirs that change. So kudos to you, Crystal. Kudos to you, Jada. And I'm patting myself on the back for it too. My cousin asked me the other day, he was like, "You're not scared to tell people you don't believe in God?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, boy!" Like
Every day.
we grew up in this Baptist church. Like my godmother is a legend. Like we hold the legacy, you know, that's being passed down now in our hands. And I'm the only one that feels this way. Hell yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah.
But you know me, right? He like, yeah, you ain't gonna not say no. I'm like, exactly. So
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm afraid to go to the future because I'm almost certain my son is going to be a cult leader, and I don't need to see that.
he is not, Jada.
Listen, he is
I
so
rebuke-
charismatic, and he
I
reads
rebuke that.
people
I don't
so
care.
well. Listen, I'm telling
He
y'all.
will be a result of you. He will be a critical thinker, and he will be loving and compassionate. He will not have any kind of capacity for hurting or manipulating others.
You have a lot to learn about me, Grasshopper.
Teach him to use it for good and not
Behave, Jada. We're on Q&A.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
And hurry up and get on camera.
I'm about to. I'm almost done. It's not cute, but I'm almost done.
Okay, what's something people always assume about you that's totally off base?
That I'm mean. They always think that I'm mean and dominating, and that's really because I have a really big personality in person. But I'm really just looking to make people laugh, looking to make sure that when you leave my presence, you're in a better state than you were when you came into it. That's really all I care about. But because my personality is so big, I've gotten from people that I'm intimidating and that I seem like I'm gonna be a really mean person. That's why whenever I tell them I'm an Aries, they're like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, but I was raised by a narcissist, so you know, I don't have the energy to hurt people's feelings on purpose. But if you push me there is no hole that I won't climb into." So that's
Yeah. Yeah. But hopefully you don't just because people think that of you, I hope you don't dim your light.
Oh,
anybody.
no, I don't. I was gonna
Okay.
say, they actually, after spending time with me, they realize, oh, she's not mean at all. She's actually, you know, quite the opposite, because I genuinely love making people smile. Like, that's my favorite thing. Like, you smiling right now makes me very happy. You know, that stuff like that. It's very simple. As long as you're smiling, I'm fine. Like, there's nothing mean gonna come from this area.
What about you, Tommy J?
I don't know if there's a specific thing. I'm just used to people being like surprised. So like, I love to cook. It's not a shocking thing that I like to cook. Like, well, that's a common hobby or interest, right? But when they taste my food, they're like, "This is like," I'm like, "Don't be." I said,
You can cook.
well, and I only offered it to you because I tasted it. I was like, "This is really fucking good," you know. So like, I offered it to you. Like, why would I offer you something nasty? Okay, so, but that happens often with me. I'm like really handy, so like I build a lot of stuff with my hands, and I think people just like expect me just to be a musician, and they like think of this monolith when they see me as Tommy J Music. But I am a very outgoing, outdoorsy kind of guy. I like camping. I like grilling. You know what I mean? Like I'm like all those kinds of, and I think it's because also, yeah, Jada, while you rinse your hair, sounding wild in there. I think people see the soft performance and vulnerable side of me, and they just automatically blanket that I don't get my hands dirty. But like when they see me, you know, chefing it up or gardening or building a gazebo or anything like more outdoorsy and rough, they're kind of like, "Okay, Tommy." I'm like, yeah.
There's more
It's because
to
you light
you.
skin. It's because you light skin. I'm telling you right now, it's because you light skin. It is the bane of our existence. They really just be like, "Oh, light skin, they don't get dirty," and then it's because you light skin. That's it.
Look, all I'm saying is, if you stuck on an island, I'm the person you want to be with. I'm the person you want to be
Okay.
stuck on the island with.
Okay. I am going to have to make note of this because there are a few things I need fixed around the house, and maybe you can come over and help. I got a notebook right here. All right. I wrote that down. Okay. Well, for me, it's that I'm outgoing because I'm not actually. I do things to make myself do the opposite of what I want to do. Like, I would like to just hide in my room all day and not have to see anybody or talk to anybody, but I know that's not healthy. So I tell myself, hey, you should start a TikTok channel and do interviews, get out there and meet people. And, so, yeah, I'm very, I didn't know it of myself. I didn't realize why I did things like compartmentalized even my groups of people in my life, and stuff, because I didn't want these people crossing over with those people or whatever. Like, I still don't want anybody in my real family to cross over any of my different little aspects of my life. But so when I realized that I was doing that, I realized it was social anxiety that I did all those things, that I, was afraid of certain circumstances, or, just being in places where, like, I never go to class reunions or things like that because it just, I don't know, I can't breathe in certain social circumstances. But people think that I'm really outgoing and would be the life of the party, and that's just not true.
We are exactly the same, Crystal.
Hey,
Go ahead, Tom.
No, I'm sorry. I cut you off, and I don't like when people do that. You say we are exactly the same, and
I would hope that you would, because I was actually trying to do something quietly and I can't. So go ahead.
I'll cut you off if you want me to, Jada. I forgot my thought. Anyway, forget it.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next question. If you guys think about it, just tell me.
Of course my husband gets loud right when I'm walking past.
What's up, honey?
Tommy said hi, honey.
No, not Tommy. Jordan. I'm Jordan.
He's okay with it. We've talked
Okay,
about it.
okay.
He's okay with it. He told me to stop making a big fuss about it, so I have to stop making a big fuss about it.
Cool.
But no, I was gonna say I'm the same way. I don't really like to my friends groups to cross, because at one point in my life, everybody knew a different side of Jackie's. So, like, nobody ever had the full scope of who I was, because I would gauge people and be like, okay, you're not into this, you're not into that, so I won't let you see that part of me, so we can be cool. Because I was, like you said, anxiety was the anxiety of people just not wanting to be my friend because of one aspect. And that really was kind of derived from my childhood, because my family was very good at letting me know, the parts of me that they didn't like. So they would say it all the time. So I got to a point where if other people show like any semblance that would be something they didn't like, I didn't show it to them. So yeah, I really hate it. I hate it when people would meet people from college had never met my family. I had people from church who've never met my college friends. So it was bad.
Oh, Jada, they one time threw me a surprise birthday party and invited all of my friends that I'd never wanted to ever talk to each other. And they thought this was a beautiful, like, amazing moment for me. And all I could think of was, why the hell are these people in my house? Like, why? I didn't want them to know where
Not
I
your
lived.
house.
My
Your
house.
on top of that? Oh my
God.
I would have unalived so quickly. So quickly.
It was horrible. And in my heart, I knew, like, this is them trying to show me love and honor me. And I want to be really happy right now. But all I wanted to do was die. In reality, I was like, this is horrible. This sucks. Get me out of here. Okay. What's a belief or opinion you held 5 years ago that you've completely changed your mind about, but not about religion? Anything
God
else?
dog it.
Had to make it tricky.
Good one. That was tricky at the end. I like how you did that.
I was so ready. I was just gonna yell it out, and then she was like, "Set religion." I said, "God dog it! All right." I mean, it's not religion, but it was started because of religion. But 5 years ago, I still thought that you could be converted into being gay. So I'll admit that. I'm finally like secure in saying no. You can be born that way, and that's one of those things that I deconstructed. I had to really deconstruct, because even when I thought I was an ally, I found out later on that I wasn't. I was still saying things that were impactful, even though they weren't intentional. And so I really had to go back and start like revisiting how I thought, and I realized that I still thought that people could be either born gay or converted, instead of just being like, you're just born that way, whether you choose to be it outright because you're comfortable enough being it outright, or because you're hiding it because of the way you're being raised. It doesn't change the fact that you were just born that way. And that's what I'm glad that I finally deconstructed it down to that, because at one point I said something to somebody along the lines of, "Oh, I would be gay, but I'm afraid of going to hell." So knowing that I wasn't trying to be like, you can't be gay, but because of how I said it, it was still impactful. I was just like, okay, well, I definitely didn't mean that. And it made me go back through and really start to break it down even more than what I thought I had already done.
Right. I get that.
I think,
Tommy, what about you?
I think for me, or I kind of want to know more so how you wrote the question. Are you saying something that that we thought was like factual or actual, or something that we believed about ourselves?
It could be any way that you take it to mean, because like it could be like how
I got an answer for both, but how did you write it?
Okay.
What were you
I
thinking
wrote
about
it more like I had this belief in something, and now I no longer believe in that thing because I've been presented with new evidence, or something happened that changed my mind.
Okay, so something that I learned.
Not necessarily about my personal self, but it could be anything,
Right. I think something that I learned that was very valuable on, I think it was Ty's Live, is that we all start female. Although I never had a problem with that idea never really sunk into me when I was learning biology and chemistry. Biology, right? When you learn about chromosomes. Yeah, biology.
Yes.
It never sunk into me that, that's why you always have the X chromosome, right? First. And then Y makes you male. XY makes you male. XX is female, right?
Yes, I believe so.
You heard how I started talking quieter when I don't know what I'm talking about. I was loud this whole time. Okay.
And I'm not sure, so I'm going, yes, I think so, because I can't remember right now.
They gonna let us know in the comments. No.
They are.
But I didn't know that information that clearly and that flat out as a fact. And now it makes me look at things differently. It makes me understand things that weren't so contrary with me before. Like I didn't have opposition with it, but I was stuck in between, like people saying you were born this way, like what Jada was expressing. I didn't know how to really feel about it. And then once I was presented with this information, not somebody's opinion, not somebody's religion, not somebody's point of view because of where they come from and only what they know. When I was presented with just some scientific fact, I was like, oh, this is easy. we all some she's until we decide, one, how we want you to address me, first of all. And then second of all, how my body is regulating. What's my body telling me?
Exactly, yeah.
And when that information empowered me, I said, oh, boom, that's it right there. That's the truth freeing me.
That is really good. That is really good. I think, I don't know of anything in the last 5 years specific I think this was longer than 5 years ago. I mean, in fact, I know it was a little bit longer than 5 years ago. But I think that I was one of those people who thinks that I'm not a bigot about something, but I definitely was a bigot about trans people. Like I was, because I didn't hate them, I thought that meant I wasn't a bigot about them. And it would take getting to know trans people to realize that I was the bigots they were talking about, if that makes any sense. The ones who think that they're not, but like still goes, why does that guy have fingernail polish on, in my mind, And I wouldn't like necessarily say those things out loud, but in my head, I was thinking those things while at the same time thinking, I'm not a transphobe. That they're not talking about me, And it really would take getting to know the trans community and listening to trans people talk and not talking, doing some shutting up and doing some listening and not giving my opinion, but instead listening to what they're telling me. And then I started to really deconstruct my own biases. And I think I do that with everything still now, to make sure to keep myself in check on things, because indoctrination, it's not just about the religion. Like I tell people all the time, it's about systemic hatred and, towards anybody who's not you, and so you think that you can just wake up one morning and stop doing all that, but it's not true, because it's instilled in you since you're a really small child. And so you have to work through those things, and it takes a while. And you learn things about yourself every day if you're open to it. Would you rather have unlimited meals at your favorite restaurant or free access to concert tickets for life?
Concert tickets, easily.
I figured you would say that.
Concert tickets all day.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say concert tickets too. Like, who wouldn't? Like, food is good, but I can eat.
Cook.
I'll eat. Yeah,
I'll eat before. I'll eat before.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, what song instantly puts you in a good mood the minute you hear it? Every time.
Shaka Khan's I Feel You.
Oh my God. That is such a great song.
Every time it drops. As soon as I hear that, I'm telling you, I'm ready to dance.
That's
Sorry,
not
I
the
got
same
a
song.
call.
You said I feel for you. That's the Prince
No,
song.
I didn't say no. I feel you.
Oh.
Shaka Khan's I Feel You.
Yeah. Okay, friend, I hear that. Okay, that's a cut. That's an album
Yes,
cut.
it's a cut. And you want to know what's funny is I just got hip to it like 10 years ago. That's what really makes it funny to me. I'm like, how did I not know this song? And now every time it starts, and my favorite line is the once that trumpet line comes in. That's
Yeah. She said, it's not difficult for me to say I love you.
I love you. Yeah.
It's not difficult for me to say I care. What a silly girl. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
friend. That's a good one. Woo. Okay. Okay. Great mood. Like, cause I need to find a term for that. I'm somewhat of a musical sorceress. I use music to like better support whatever mood I'm feeling or whatever the mood I think the room needs. So if I'm like looking for like instantly uplifting and feeling good just for me, not for the room, for me, I Believe in You by Graham Central Station. Love that song.
That's a good one.
And I'm a funk like aficionado. Well, I wouldn't say aficionado because I talk to people all the time that know just so much, and that's why I like go to them about funk. But I am a funk slut. Let's say that. Can I say that on TikTok?
You can say that.
I'm a
You can
funk
say
slut.
that.
Okay. I
I'm a weirdo. I love Al Jarreau. So if I hear like So Good or High Crime, I love it. I'm going to be in a great mood. I love Al Jarreau. I love his scatting too, because I'm that kind of a weirdo.
My favorite Al Jarreau, I want you to come and take a little more come with me. Let's take five. Let's take five.
Yes, I love Take Five.
Let's take five. Take five. Cause I say stay. Not a single word do we say. And the matter mama out of time, but it doesn't down to my feet. I feel it goes down to my feet. Down to my feet. Singing it up way. All right. We can go music, Crystal.
There we go. There we go. That puts me in a good mood. Just that you did that. Now I'm going to be in a
Jada,
great
baby.
mood all night. Hey, Jada. Oh, you're muted. Or I can't hear you. There
Of
we
course
go.
I was muted. Why would I be on camera and not muted? It can't have them both. Like, one at a time. So, but I never listened to that song with the words. I've only ever listened to instrumental versions of it. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I love him singing to it. It's great.
Oh yeah, that was
He
good.
starts off and he just like makes percussions out of his voice. He'd be like,
Oh yeah, that's true.
he'd be doing all kind of stuff with his mouth. Pulls.
Right.
See, that's why I loved Al Jarreau and I don't think that my generation appreciated him like they should have. He like, how many octaves could that man sing in? Plus, he was able to do like the percussion, but I've actually heard him do other instruments too with his voice. He was amazing. People just didn't appreciate him. That's all. Okay, last question. And then if you guys are in the audience and you want to come up and ask Tommy and Jada questions, it will be your time. So you'll just put a request in the guest box. If you are too shy to come up, you can ask your questions in chat and we will read them out. Or if you're on YouTube, please feel free to type them in chat and we'll read them out. But yeah, it'll be your turn. So would you rather lose all your favorite playlists or only be allowed to listen to one artist for the next year?
Wait. Would
Yeah,
I rather
was like-
keep all my playlists?
No, you can either lose all your playlists and then listen to anything you want, or you can keep all your playlists, but you can only listen to one type of music for 1 year.
One artist for a year?
Is it an artist of my choosing?
Yeah, it's
You
one
can't ever get a-
artist, and it's of your choosing. It's one artist of your choosing.
Oh, okay. I could take the second one.
Okay.
I can take the second one. See, you can never get a straight answer out of the two of us. We need to know all the details. We need all the clarification before we give you an answer every single time.
I know, it's like we're going to sign a contract right now. Hang on, let me get that pen again.
Literally, every single time. I need to be 100% clear about what you're saying.
Wait, what did you say on page 67? What was it?
I'm sorry. I thought that I sent these questions to your manager before the show.
Yeah, no, we didn't approve any of these.
They gave me a writer, and I put green M&Ms in the bathroom, like the writer said. Who did I talk to?
Wasn't my guy. Wasn't my guy.
Yeah, no, I agree. The second choice. I'm thinking of two artists right now that I could three artists I could listen to for an entire year and not get bored.
Ever.
Yeah, Prince, Stevie, Michael.
Okay. I don't have playlists, so I just would not
She
give
said it
a
was an
shit.
easy choice for her too.
really easy choice. I never make playlists. I just, like, you just put in what kind of music you want to listen to now, and it plays it for you anyway. So, and you can skip if it's a song you don't like. So you just go skip. I don't know. I just never have. We have one playlist that Amazon, made. It's the one where it goes, this is what you listen to all the time. So I'm going to make a playlist out of it for you. And we keep it because it's a mixture of songs that my husband likes and that I like, because we do not have the same taste in music. So it's one that we can listen to where we don't hate each other. But that's the only playlist.
That is funny.
All right. You guys, it's your turn to ask the questions. Just put a request in the guest box and we will bring you up. Also, I'm going to pull up YouTube. YouTube, if you have any questions for my guests, please feel free to ask and I will read them out.
And I told Jada to do something that I didn't do. Jada, did you do the homework that I gave you that I didn't do myself?
Yes.
You did?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm in the library before school. I'm doing my homework right now.
Okay, well, my question to you is...
well, wait. I didn't even tell Crystal yet. Crystal,
okay.
We prepared for the show a question that we have for each other.
Okay, cool.
And then we have a question for you. So we each have 2 questions.
Awesome.
We both do.
That's cool. Very cool.
Wait, I'm supposed
Okay.
to have 2 questions for her? I only have 1 question for her and 1 question for you. I thought it was 2 questions
Right, total of 2, yeah.
Oh, because I can't count past that. That's after that, it's all downhill. Well, I will ask Crystal my first question. My first question is, if you wrote a book, what would the title be and what would it be about?
If I wrote a book. It would be The Facets of Aging because of Crystal. And it would talk about the things that people don't tell you about as you age in the different eras in your life, because there's definitely shit we're not telling each other and we're making people find out, and it's not cool, y'all. We should be saying, here's what's going to happen. You're going to need glasses. We don't care who you are. You will need glasses.
Oh, man, so, I got a list. I got a list.
And like, for sure for women, like, because going into menopause and then going through menopause, there are things, like, we hear about the hot flashes and stuff like that, right? We don't hear about how you should sit down and make sure your husband understands what the hell menopause is and what's going to happen, and how he no longer gets to control the thermostat, because that's not going to fucking happen anymore. And we're not playing, okay? We're not playing.
Period. Period. No, seriously. And the fact that it starts long before 40, that you can actually start going through menopause at like 30, 35. They don't talk about that at all. And that's not right at all.
It's not. It's just wrong is what it is.
It's absolutely. It's definitely should be a criminal offense to every doctor that doesn't mention it as soon as you turn 18. Okay, by the way, you only got about 10 years. 10 years and you might be facing menopause.
That's right.
It's literally what they should be telling you at 18. They don't. Not to mention, I've got a whole pet peeve about postpartum pregnancy and the very little bit of information that they put out about that. Like the fact that you can still be dealing with that stuff years after you've given birth. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's why wouldn't you tell me that? Like, maybe, but because they don't want us, they don't want us to just actually opt out of having kids. Because if I'd have had an idea, no, I'm just playing. My baby would still be here, but I would have at least prepared better. I would have prepared better. I'll say it like that. I just had no idea that this much can change your body after having a baby, because they never talk about it. Not even the people who had babies. Like, they don't even talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. They don't talk about it. And it's like, Why aren't you telling me? Like, okay, we know, you're going to have issues holding your bladder after you have a baby. That's what we're told, all right? Great. You told me a piece of the information. You didn't tell me that there are things I can do. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I know there's exercises, sweetie. We know all about that. But you didn't tell me that there's actual bladder slings now. You didn't tell me that because you didn't want to talk about the bladder because that embarrassed you.
Right.
But
Or the
there's
fact that
things you can do.
or the fact that you can take all the calcium you want and all the prenatals that you want, but your teeth might still fall out after you've given birth. Like, it doesn't matter how great your dental visits have been for 40 years. Okay.
That's
now
right.
You have 4 cavities, need 2 root canals, and all of a sudden you need to see an oral surgeon. Like, what? You couldn't tell me that was a possibility.
And that's why women get osteoporosis and stuff like that. Like, come on, we need to talk about things. So, yeah,
Right.
that's what I would write about.
And so my question for Tommy is the same, but the second half of that question is, what's your favorite key to sing in?
She cheating and she cheating. I think it's A flat. Hey, pretty baby with them high heels on. You give me fever like I never ever known. Yeah, I like A flat. The name of my book would be I'm Scared I Don't Need God. And I say I'm scared after writing the book because I think that's what might have taken me so long to get to the point of just letting go of God altogether. I think I used to think there was something immoral. Well, I know I used to think there was something immoral about not believing in God at all. And I think that's all fear-based. So I think I'm afraid of not believing in something that's supposed to love me is something I would love to dig into. And I think it would just like kind of bleed into everything that I do, like as a performer, the kind of man that I am when I'm dating, people that I'm intimately involved with. Yeah, I no longer operate from a sense of fear. Fear is definitely gone. And, but that was, I think, the biggest thing that kind of kept me from just throwing God away altogether. Oh my goodness. I sent this to a lot of my mutual friends. Like you said, you didn't want to mix groups. I sent it to them today. I said, bitch, find out. Sorry. My mouth.
We're grown here. We can cuss, okay?
I will say that you make me feel more and more like a dude all the time when it comes to singing, because like you said A flat and the first thing I thought was, what in the entire fuck? Like, no, I can't absolutely. No, my favorite keys are C, D flat, B, and B flat. Like I could sing in those all day. But you A flat, man, that's where my break starts to happen real bad, and I can't get, like, I would have to. I am uber jelly. Uber. And if I wrote a book and I named it, it would be either Bread for Consumption or Thanks Mom, but I'll Take It From Here, which would both of them will highlight how Christianity and narcissism can turn someone into an introvert simply because of the negative reinforcement, and because that would be like literally my life story. So,
speaking of, I'll take it from here. That's very close to my first question. Have you heard Christina's podcast?
I love her podcast. So good. I won't, to be fair, I've only heard the Bathsheba because I have a lot of stuff I have to listen to. I do my homework on my guests. I like to make sure, I watch them, listen to them, get to know who they are too. And I listened to her Bathsheba one. It's so good. So good.
Yeah, that one she raved about, and I went and listened to that one too. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to the rest of them because, like Ria's, they put me to sleep. I've never heard people with such beautiful voices on a regular basis. And it's so soothing and calming. And it's just like, I know I'm supposed to be taking in this information, but I feel my pillow calling my name. And it's not intentional. I've listened to like Ria's episodes, I swear, and I'm on at least my 30th go through, and I still... Every time I start, I fall asleep and I'm waking up on the last one. Whatever the last one is, that's what I'm waking up on. I'm like, this is just not fair. So, but yeah, no, Christina's I could listen to her all day. But again, she puts me to sleep in those settings because I'm just like, her voice is so nice.
I definitely have to listen to Christina on the way while I'm like driving to somewhere where I'm very wide awake and I'm not just trying to stay up in my car. Like I'm driving, going somewhere. They're just short enough for like a car trip. So anytime like I'm going somewhere and I don't have anything to really do in the car, like on the phone with anybody, I throw on her podcast. I'll take it from here. And my question is attached to Christina Carroll. Shout out to Christina Carroll. I think she's an amazing woman. Love her story. I love the work she does. I love the person that she is. And I wrote a song about Christina Carroll because of the impact that her and many women like her in this deconstruction community had on me. So it's a fairly recent song that I wrote, and I am willing to share the song at the end of the live.
I would love that.
I know that she still might be live, but if she's not live, or if she is live still, somebody will go into her live and let her know if she's planning on ending anytime soon to stop by here, and we'll wait for her to enter the room for me to sing her song. She already has heard the song. I've sent it to her, and now I'm just working on recording it. But my question is, all of that, right? I'm so dramatic. Don't give me a mic. My question is, if you were to write a song about anybody, who would it be and why?
For me?
Both of you.
I'll let Jada go first.
I'm actually, I used to write songs all the time. Like when I thought I was going to be in music, when I thought I was going to be an artist, I was writing songs all the time. And I always wrote about love that I wanted to experience. And so now I'm currently working on 2 songs. One for my son, which I will maybe share, but it's really specifically for him, just trying to convey my love for him and how he changed my life with his birth. And my second one is actually for my mother. Me and her can't have a decent conversation, so I feel like this is the only way I'm going to be able to tell her how what she has done in my life shaped me into who I am. And how, if it could be different, I would love for it to be different. But I can't continue to degrade myself just to appease her. So it would definitely be, I guess both of them would be about me, and but they would be in an effort to communicate with those 2 people.
That's really good. I don't know if I would write. I had 2 moms in a way, and I don't think I would write a song about either one of them. I'm not.
What happened?
It's making me verify the live.
Oh yeah, you got a puzzle.
But it took a minute to come up, so I didn't know what was happening. It just froze my screen on my end, but nothing was there at first. So I
Your
was
face
like,
looked like you saw breaking news. I said, wait.
Wait, breaking news.
What
I
happened on
don't
the
want to
dedicated?
write a song about my mother.
Breaking news. I thought somebody texted her and told her somebody was in an accident. I was like, oh no, not right now.
Just a puzzle. That's what I look like when there's a puzzle put in front of me, like it's a tragedy or something. But when my son was born, or not when my son was born, when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, I wrote a letter to my son because he was my first child. And for a while, it was just me and him. I, divorced his father when he was young. And I wanted him to know that he was the reason that I wanted more kids, because I loved him so much and he brought me so much joy, and that, it didn't mean that anything I felt or any love I had for him was being taken away from him. It was like he had expanded my heart and made it so there was room for more. And so I would probably write a similar song or story, or a song but story wise, to my granddaughter, his daughter, to let her know that she makes me feel the same way. I'd love to have more grandchildren just because she's here, because she makes me have more room for more love. And so I would probably write to her.
That's beautiful. I am very it's like a want that I've been battling with. How much of this is selfishness and like really should be titled as a want, but I want to have kids. And sorry, that was my alarm.
Yes.
That was my clock now. But I want to have kids, and I'm just like, okay, Tommy, but is it out of selfishness? Like, what is this experience that you want to have? And it's really what you just expressed. I want that feeling, and so I've been thinking about how I go about that kind of want in my life. That has to do with other people. It has to do with the child's care and opportunity and protection and all of that I'm in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I want that. But what's the reality of that? Trying to be realistic about that as I approach my mid-30s.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know some of the deeper questions people ask. I don't have the answers to, is it morally right or wrong to bring children into this world? I don't have the answers to those questions. At the time that I gave birth to my children, it was morally right because I was a Christian and that's what we were called to do. So
Right.
At the time I did it, in my head, I was doing the right thing, but I certainly don't have all the answers. I just know why I wanted more children and why I'd love to have more grandchildren. And I do believe, I still believe, and it gets hard sometimes to believe that this world could be a better place one day. I still have that hope, and I know it's hard sometimes, like I really do. But there are other times where I just see so many good people doing so many good things. And I'm like, see, he's 18 and look at him. He's already doing such great stuff, for his community or whatever. And then I see that glimmer of hope in future generations,
Yeah, agreed. And I think that's the only those are the stories that keep the world turning, literally, because if not for minds and people like that, I'm pretty sure we would have met a much nastier end sooner than later. We are blessed and privileged in spite of the constant struggle of being Black in this country. We are so privileged that we have ancestors that were willing to give up their lives to make room and make opportunity for people like me and Jada to get up here and be as Black as we want to be, as loud as we want to be, as proud as we want to be, and to be able to and to look forward to talking to people like you, Crystal. This is a result of the work that our ancestors were willing to put their lives on the line to do. And we're blessed and privileged to live in this day and age. But yes, it exists in pockets, and that's what keeps us going emotionally, like it keeps our sanity, and it keeps the world turning. It progresses us as people.
It really does. It really does.
I just want to say that as a person who literally just got off the roller coaster train of wanting to be a mother, I will say that it's selfish in some aspects, but overall it's not. It's the most selfless thing you can do. Just because you're literally saying, in most cases, forget whatever plans I have for my own life. I now have to make sure that whatever plans I have will cover my child to where they can be a productive adult in society. It's literally, and I'm not saying this to make anybody feel like they should go out and try to have kids or it should now become their mission, because I will also say that you have to know oneself when it comes to wanting to be a parent. I truly didn't think I would be a good mother. I didn't think that I could be selfless enough at that point, because growing up I had to be selfless all the time. I have 3 siblings that grew up in the house with me, as well as the fact that my mother always made it seem like they were my responsibility. So I had vowed that once I graduated and I got out the house, I wasn't gonna worry about having kids unless I was married. Then I found out I had PCOS, and back then all of my doctors were telling me, you're more than likely infertile, you're not gonna have kids. And so now I started, making my peace with it, getting over it. I was like, I'm good. I don't even like kids under 5. I don't know what I would do with the baby. Unless they come out walking, talking, feeding themselves, I can't do it. Like that's where I was telling myself, like, it was better off this way. And then lo and behold, my high school sweetheart comes back into my life, and within 5 years, we are now the parents of a 21-year-old baby. And I wouldn't change it for the world. And that's literally coming from somebody. Yeah, like I really would have never thought about having children. I made my peace about having kids. I was content with never having children. And then even when we got together, he didn't have any kids. So we sat down and talked about possibly adopting, once we were financially in a place where we could do so. But we were okay with neither one of us biologically having children. And then 1 month when I just thought I was nauseous for no reason, I find out that I'm 11 weeks, and I'm just like, wait, what? This really happened? And so now he's here, and he's just a ball of goof. Not goofball, he is a ball of goof. And all day long, that's all he wants to do is laugh and smile. And he's genuinely, I think, a part of the both of us that was suppressed in life, because he is completely different in that aspect. But he's also very aware, and it's just so much fun to watch him grow daily. I'm at a point now where I literally want to start a campaign where every parent has to take the first 2 years off or have to learn how to work from home, because me being sick, I was able to experience more moments with him at home, because I was at home getting better. And I was like, man, I feel like every parent should experience this. Like, I'm like, let's figure out a campaign so that we can get these maternity and paternity gigs for everybody. Because we need to be able to, this is the best part. And I'm like, this is why the world is miserable. This is why you guys are miserable. You didn't live through watching your child explore and get to know things, and then watching how they react. And my son's laugh is so infectious. And he knows it. He knows it. He absolutely knows it's infectious, because if he thinks that he's about to get in trouble, you'll just hear, and he's like, and now he's not in trouble, because now everybody's laughing. That's why I say he might be a cult. I'm trying to tell you, I'm worried. No, but seriously, he is genuinely the best thing that could happen to me, because I don't like saying it, but I was losing reasons to stay here. I was losing reasons to not want to go go live with the ancestors. I was losing the reasons, because this world can leave you hopeless sometimes. But now, especially now on this side of things, being more open about, and I do have a confession. You guys are truly the only people who know me as agnostic atheist. My family still doesn't know. They've probably gathered They would always assume the worst. And I tell people now, like, atheism in my house is almost like saying the N word with the hard ER. It's just that bad in my house. So I haven't figured out how to tell them yet, but I don't necessarily care about it in the
Yeah.
sense that I'm trying to keep the bridge open for them to get to know my son. But it's like outside of that, like we don't have to talk about religion at all. I wouldn't want to go to heaven with you fools anyway. So it's just like cool.
One of my favorite things about deconstructing is realizing that lying doesn't mean shit now. So I can lie to my family and go, what? Yeah, my walk with Jesus, well, it's personal. Don't really like to talk about it, okay? But yeah, so I don't have to worry anymore that if I don't divulge everything, it's a lie and I'm going to hell. I have to tell them.
Exactly.
So my family doesn't know either, but I'm not really close to them.
I was about to say, I don't even talk to them fools.
Yeah, I don't talk to them. Who cares? And it's
Yeah, I like to. I don't want people that I'm close to think that I would lie to them. So I always preface this by saying, I have like a circle of truth. You ever seen Meet the Parents?
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I have a circle of truth. Anybody outside of that circle is prone or susceptible to figure it the fuck out. Make it make sense, because
whatever you think,
I'm gonna let you think whatever you want to think.
Whatever
you
you
go.
think is fine. I'm fine.
That's good. Hey, Grana, how are you today?
Oh, hanging in there. How about you?
Doing good. You've got
Hello.
questions for Tommy and
Well,
Jada?
first I want to say that I totally agree with what you guys are saying about parents. I know my nickname's Grandma Xana, but that is a nickname because I try and adopt all of the grandkids around me like for my own. So, but I think you're right that we need to have where women or men can take a couple years off when their baby is born. And if someone's suffering from postpartum depression, they can have someone come in and help them out every day. So they're still around the baby, but they don't have to have 100% responsibility. So that's my dream.
I agree.
So, but my question is, who was your hero as a child, and has it changed? And if it has changed, or even if it hasn't changed, what's the difference on how you look at that person as an adult?
I'll answer because Jada's still thinking about it. Let me give her a second. My hero, I'm gonna be careful about saying names.
Okay.
But they're very prominent in the gospel music industry. Has done some fabulous work and is still one of my biggest role models when it comes to like composition and just like song artistry. However, this person is still a hero to me, and that's why I said I'm gonna be careful about names, because I recognize the indoctrination and colonization of my people. So, but I don't allow that for an excuse anymore. I don't know how to reconcile people who lived that more than the age that I am. My God, the person I'm talking about, they were a Christian for way longer than I've been alive, So, it's hard to imagine that they could let go of all of that at one time or in a moment. I can't imagine what that moment would be for them without the kind of information that I am, that's available to me. So I look at my friend in the comments knows who I'm talking about. We have these conversations as well. Eric Reed is a world-renowned jazz musician, pianist. He is a freaking genius. Love him to death. But we recently had the same conversation. So although this person is still a hero to me in some sense, there's some areas where I feel like my hero wasn't all that I thought they were all my
Right.
life. And now I see them a little differently.
Wow. That's
It,
powerful.
and it's still settling. It's not comfortable at all. It's yeah, uncomfortable is the best word I can put.
Yeah. Wow.
My face was not for thinking, honey. My face was because we are on the exact same path, but mine was going to go a little darker. Turn out your flashlights. Mine was my mother, but it was not because I genuinely, and now as an adult, I realized it wasn't because I genuinely thought she was my hero. It was because I thought that was who I was supposed to make my hero.
Oh.
So it was, my mother could do no wrong. She was a saint. She did right by everyone. And hey, Christina. Now, to me, she's not who I thought she was. I shouldn't say now. As I became an adult woman myself, she slowly but surely lost that shining example of heroism when I really started to see her for who she was in my life. So then I looked back and realized that my heroes have always been the women who went against the grain, the women who pushed past the norm. And for me, it was the everyday woman. She didn't necessarily have to be famous. She could have been the one lady at the church who was a doctor and a preacher, because I grew up in a time when women weren't preachers, and then she comes in and they're like, oh, minister, Betty Mayfield, and it's like, oh, you're a minister. I absolutely adored the women of the Divine Nine sororities. Like, I thought they were amazing examples of what a woman genuinely about being for her neighbor and her public work. So I think I just literally, and that's how I am now. When I see a woman, I'm genuinely a champion for the everyday woman. So if you're in my life, you're never going to get anything but positive energy from me, because I really genuinely want to see you win. Like, I'm a girl's girl who most people thought was a girl who liked girls, but I'm genuinely a girl who loves to see the achievement of women, because they chose to go against the grain and be different,
Nice.
and which I'm trying to embrace now within myself, because I am that girl. So I'm like, if I can celebrate those around me, I can celebrate myself as well.
I love
For
that.
real. Theo, how are you today?
Yeah, I just woke up and today I am fine, but as I progress further from reading the Bible, I have come to a conclusion that God as me as he is God, and then I am starting to think that he is selfish. He doesn't care about the people, and even though in as I read more Bible verses, I have come to a conclusion that God is selfish. He made Cain go punish, even though we don't know why was he punished though, even if his offering was from the ground, and God really didn't take Cain's offering. And there was also the molten calf where God where Moses destroyed the calf, and made made the Israelites drink the what drink the molten calf, I think. And then that was what God did was selfish as well. He didn't intervene with Moses, and he didn't even let he didn't even let Moses down, because it was 40 days. Moses was there 40 days, and then the Israelites were beginning to doubt Moses, and God was selfish not letting Moses down. And there was also the part
Hey,
of the holy
Theo,
tent.
Theo. Theo, I'm sorry to interrupt you, and you're right. You're saying some very correct things. But today is Decon Q&A with CrystalJae, and my guest is Jada and Tommy. And so we're asking them questions today. Do you have a question for Jada and Tommy?
Oh yeah. Why does God require so much sacrifices like the Holy Tent? They were asking the Israelites to donate a lot of shit. Why did God want them to do that?
I'm going first.
Before
Jada.
they answer, I just want to say thank you so much, Jada and Tommy. That was the best answers like I could have imagined. I gotta go drop down.
Okay,
a pool
Grana.
today.
Come
Thank
back
you.
up later
Thank
if you want to
you.
play the
Thank you.
game.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you for the question.
Yeah, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Theo, first of all, I am over here cracking up laughing because it don't matter what is going on in the live. You have something to add to whatever the conversation is. It cracks
I
me
didn't
up
know
every
if you
time.
knew Theo or not.
Oh yeah, I know Theo very well. And I want to say kudos to you,
We know
bro.
him.
I saw you on Eloso's live, and somebody tried to tell you about what was going on with Christianity in the Philippines, and you said, "Oh no, you think you know?" And you laid them out. And what I heard is you not just regurgitating or parroting. There's a understanding that you were met with the reality that you face in the country that you live in, and the information that you've been that you're embracing. And I saw it living in itself, and it was beautiful, man. I'm proud of the understanding that you're coming into, and it I don't know what it is about the way you approach this information. It always sounds left field, but you're right. You're spot on. So I mean, we can do nothing but love somebody that's breaking away from this deconstruction. I just want to share that love with you, Theo. And I don't know the answer to them questions. Don't ask me. Take that shit to El Oso's live.
Although Angel Investor was right about one thing. Most of the atheist population is in Asia, but well, I I know when to admit when I'm wrong, but Christians they can't do that. Also, yeah,
Jada, did you want to answer his questions, his biblical
Listen,
questions?
when I tell you I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with people who don't admit to being wrong, I got nothing. But like I said, kudos to you for asking more questions. I was there with the very first time you were up on Thinkers Live, and it was very much first you were Christian, but you just had questions. Now you're absolutely deconstructing, which is so cool to me, just watching it unfold. And I'm happy for you because I wish I would have had that kind of courage to just ask those questions at 18. I was still trying to convince myself that I was still gonna make it into heaven. So like, kudos to you, like, all day.
thanks. Although I don't get why God is not so simple. He required the holy tent, which was made out of a lot of gold, and isn't gold like very malleable? And what if there is a storm, and then why aren't you simple, God? Why don't you require just simple traditional garments or construction materials? Because if I were to be God, I would ask my people, hey, do the simple things to in order to praise me. Just build an altar out of the metals that you got, and use whatever you got, you just so you can worship me. Not
Yeah,
any of
just some
that
rocks,
shit gold.
like just get some
Yeah, that's a
rocks.
lot.
Just put some rocks together on top of each other and just do it, right?
Yeah.
I agree,
I'm
Theo.
cool. Just sit in the grass. If you want to worship me, the best way to do that is my Cash App. No, I'm sorry. But if I was to God,
Boom.
I'd be like, just sit in the grass. I don't care where you sit. Just sit down and think about me and how awesome I am. But God is extra. Don't we all know this? He's bougie. He wants all of it. You know, he wants the pomp and the circumstance. So,
Oh, look at that
Theo-
pumpkin and his braid.
Yeah.
Is it the braid? You know
Ah,
what? Okay.
can I make you bigger? I want to see him. Let me see. Hi. Hi.
Say hi.
How are you? You're such a cutie patootie. Yes, you are.
Sleepy. He's still sleepy. Yes, you are. Yeah, see, you see you. They see you. They say hi.
Okay, Theo,
Yeah.
well, thank you for coming up. I'm going to drop you down now and
Yeah.
move on to Eloso, but
Oh,
thanks for coming up. I appreciate
yeah.
you. Hey, Eloso, how are you today?
Hola, greeting. What's up?
I'm gonna need a SHLT for this.
You getting ready for this, Tommy? All right, he's getting ready. Do you have some questions for Tommy J and Jada?
Um,
If you say where's my money,
no, I have an even better question for you guys. And it's one that you might have to think about for a little while, but it is good to think about. Would you rather have Where's My Hug at Son or He Know Where Home Is Daughter?
uh, I feel like I gotta say he know where home is daughter because I feel like the other one is more problematic. And then even that answer is problematic. You feel like you gotta say it, so you gonna say it. You ain't shit. See. And I know Zena in here. Damn. Okay, Jada, answer with the child in your hand.
I'm gonna need to hear it again because it came through muffled.
Yeah, I said, would you rather have a Where My Hug at Son or He Know Where Home Is Daughter? Yeah, marinating that for a second.
He know where home is, daughter,
Uh-huh.
or where my hug at, son.
Right.
I don't know. Where my hug at, son? There it is.
Aww.
Point blank, period.
Yo,
Point
Trump,
blank, period.
yo, trumped her way out of that question. That's
She really
crazy.
did, Loki.
I said, I don't know. I guess I should ask my kid, huh? Hey, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? How should I have done it, huh?
Okay,
Crystal.
No, I'm moving on. Okay, you guys, do you want to do the song for Christina Carroll right now?
Yes, Christina, are you still in here? And I know you been going live all day. I don't want to hold you. And then because I know we got some games we're playing and all that. Christina, if you're still in here, put it in the comments and we will sing your song. If not, somebody go and tell her that we'll sing her song if she comes
She's
back.
still here. Do you want to come up?
Yeah, come up.
If you want to
Christina.
come up, I'll bring you up.
I tried my best. This is what I do, but I'm still new.
I'm
to
going to make you
Christina.
big, okay?
Okay. I'm still new to this whole community, and I just met Christina and
You
I got it.
okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't want to be like a weirdo. Like I got a song about you. Like what the hell? But I tried to explain that the song is one. I listened to the podcast, and that I was just inspired by her story, but also this song when I was writing the lyrics and kind of like summing up how I feel about the lyrics that were coming to me, it resembles all of the women that I've met in these lives: Rhea, Zena, Lortz, G, Gabby, just so many that have Quan, Fox, so many women that just show this diaspora of what it is to be just a good person first. And so, yeah, it is wrapped around Christina, and I hope that she doesn't feel weirded out. I hope she feels honored by it. But it is a reflection of an experience I was having with being introduced to this deconstruction community.
Let's kick it. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Okay. The universe of no. Oh yeah, starting the right key, Tommy. The universe of knowing that exists inside your brain displays the beauty of a song inspired by your name. An unordinary gesture with the hopes that I will soon explain that by knowing you, I'm no longer the same. Hold on, we gotta start over. I haven't played this in like 2 weeks. Hold on, real quick. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Okay. Whew. And I told you, this is like one of my most complex songs I've ever written. If you know an artist that's written a song and it modulates and the modulation is a part of the song, this is something else. And I just took a shot because Oso came in here and asked us this silly ass question. I do know how to play this song, Christina.
You got this.
The universe of knowing that exists inside your brain displays the beauty of a song inspired by your name. An unordinary gesture with the hopes that I will soon explain that by knowing you, I'm no longer the same. In all the voices that approach my ear, your eloquence and wisdom sound so clear. Oh, Christina, Christina, oh, Christina. Christina, Christina, oh, Christina. She's a mother, a daughter, a sister. If I could be one, I would be one like Christina. Oh, Christina, Christina, oh, Christina. It's just an ode to the beauty of Christina. Hey, she's a mother, a daughter, she's a sister. And if I could be one, I would be one like Christina. Yeah. Get out of here.
Boy.
That was
Now
fire.
Boy, them modulations, man, you nasty with it. And you have the audacity to be singing it too. You're nasty with it. You nasty.
Tommy, thank you so much. I remember when you first sent like the first draft of that song. I thought it was dope. Then, first of all, you being called a cheater in the comments. I want you to know wherever you frequent most often. I don't know if it's safe for you to just be hanging around there by yourself. You might need to take some backup with you when you go to Quan.
No, that's my babe. That's my fiance.
Hello.
Quan
But
is
thank you so much. I think that is so incredibly cool, and I love how you like because it's true. The women in this community that we've come to know and love really do embody a lot of the traits that you sing about. And I know you use my name, but I know that it embodies all the women that you spoke of. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. It feels good to like for people to say, yeah, like I appreciate y'all, and I to see the finer attributes of us when we're constantly getting called demons and witches and evil people all day long. So it feels good to know that we're supported by people in the community, and I hope you all feel the same support and stuff like that reciprocated. That's really special to me. I'll always like keep that for sure. So whenever you lay that down on a track, make sure I have it, please, or however you figure that out. Like I appreciate that for sure. Thank you so much.
Oh no, Christina, we all out here trying to represent you. Look, I did my makeup because I was coming on camera and I was like, as a woman in this community, I
did makeup.
So listen,
You've been showing off. I've been meaning to tell you, Crystal. You've been showing out. I love y'all. I really do. This community means so much to me. Each and every one of y'all for so many different reasons. Y'all are awesome. Thank y'all so much. But this ain't about me. This is about Jada and Tommy. I'm off the panel, but I love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Christina, thank you for being here. We love you. Big W for Tommy and Christina in the chat. You guys, that was so, I'm serious. I'm not joking or just saying. I had goosebumps the whole time. That was beautiful.
Thank you. It came from a special place in my heart. As an artist, it always, I have to experience it either before or after. I can't experience it while I'm singing it, or like I'll mess up a lyric or something. But it feels good to hear how other people feel about it, because that's all I do it for. I do it for that exchange. And thank you for letting me have that. I appreciate that.
Oh, that was awesome. The honor was all mine, I assure you. But Through God is coming up for another reason.
I represent Quan in the situation that we find ourselves in. Imagine my surprise coming in here to hear that beautiful song, and then Tommy over here singing Christina's name. And I said to myself, this is strange. As a representative of Quan, I don't know why Christina's name is being sang over and over. So I'm here to tackle the facts, because now we have some conflict resolution we're going to have to get to later in the Discord. I hope you have your evidence, Tom. I've got all I need to run this down.
And I will send you that clip later, Through God, that you asked for.
You're amazing.
I got you.
Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you. You're always looking out. We're going to go ahead and, we're going to seal the deal and get this in court and get this handled expeditiously.
Through the only person that could come up here. Do you have a question? Yes. Tommy J, you're in trouble. I'll see you later in court. See you later. Thank you. Out.
Song. I just want to say hi, Crystal. You look great. Jada, you look amazing. It seems like you guys are having a good time. So happy to see you guys. This is great. I was so amazing.
I want my chest hairs out, fun. I just...
No questions. Just she
like, no, you're off. I'll see you in court.
Listen, I will perjury for you. I got you, partner. I got you. I will take care of you.
I will perjury for you.
I will perjury for you. That's exactly how I say it now.
That's awesome. That's friendship right there. That's That's real. All right. Do you have any questions for them other than what we've already discussed through God?
Do I have any questions? Are we not asking you the questions, Deacon?
We're asking them the questions.
Who's a deacon? Who's a deacon?
It's Decon, like for deconstruction.
So funny.
wait,
She said,
wait.
"Who's the
Oh,
deacon?"
okay.
I have
Yeah,
a question.
because I've
I'm
never
gonna let
been
her ask questions.
a Christian, so I'm not.
Yeah. So it's short for deconstructing, and I bring up creators in the deconstruction community, and that way all of us can ask them questions, and we get to know them, and because like it's fun to get to know all the creators instead of just the ones that people see all the time. I want to get to know them all.
I do have a question for Jada. I don't think I've ever gotten how long Jada happened to be a Christian before, and like what prompted them to deconstruct. I know you probably answered that question already. I'm sorry, but I know I got Tommy's story a little bit, but I don't think I've ever gotten yours.
You know what? Because I don't have an actual timeline for it. I was born and raised in Christianity. I gave my life to Christ at 7. I was December 7th. It was like literally the same day they were celebrating Pearl Harbor. So I was like, I guess this is it. This is the only one. But I know now as an adult, I only did it because I thought it would make my mother love me, and that I definitely was gonna like be with my family in heaven. But it was really once I became a musician and started playing for churches that I started to really question the validity of Christianity and the fact that so many people swore by it but didn't live by it. So I was starting to question that. And then after I lost my last church gig, which was in 2018, that's when I fully dove into asking questions, looking for actual outside resources, treating the Bible like a book, and getting to where I am now, where I can say, fuck God in the name of Jesus. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm still deconstructing some stuff because there's still some things where I feel like the respect level for people who are still in Christianity, I'm trying to just deconstruct that because I really don't have, my respect level is definitely drastically changed. But outside of that, for me, as far as going to church, being a Christian, I denounce it all.
Tommy, what about you? We didn't really talk about your deconstruction either.
Mine was forged out of something that I am relearning now. That Fun is helping me with, Fox is helping me with, Quan is helping me with. This bullshit about us being indigenous Americans. That's not where I started, but I think my information or like the questions that I was asking was starting to lead me there. I was still stuck on needing a God or a spiritual ideal or system, and not really asking myself the critical questions like, if any of these gods did exist, why hasn't he made herself available to me? And to people that need this God more than me. I'm sitting here grateful and reveling in my gratitude and trying to figure out, this was the big question. How can I be grateful for something that other people aren't experiencing? So when my friend tells me that they just lost their mother. When somebody tells me that their house burned down in the Altadena fire. Like, it's just like, how can I be grateful for anything right now? And that just started to eat away at my conscience and my humanity. And so it started to lead me more toward holding accountable the faith, you know? So luckily, I don't know how I found this group of deconstructionists, but I would have said 5 years ago, thank God for bringing me to these people to lead me away from him. But yeah, I found this group of people that started to ask the questions the right way, which they'd be like, you're asking the question the wrong way. No, this is the way we need to ask it, in a realistic way that says, is harm being done? Is that okay? Yes, it's being done, and no, it's not okay. So fuck all that other shit. And I'm just so passionate about how I feel about people, about love. I demand it furiously. You don't have to love me, but you have to care about how your whatever you're doing affects others. And I'm just so passionate about that. It was easy for me to let go of God, church, all that shit for a better moral stance. I'm even passionate about it. And that's why I said earlier, Crystal, I'm careful about it, because I'll tell you in a quick minute that your God is nasty, and I'll cuss him out if you need me to. Okay.
I'm trying to work on that so hard. When I keep saying it, and then I end up on one of y'all's panels, and you're probably thinking, shut up, you're so full of shit, you're not trying to be nicer. But I really am, because I want to recognize the humanity in everybody. I was there. And I want to remember that I was there, and try to help people instead of be so goddamn mad at them. But they just say the dumbest things, and I just end up going off. It's very, very hard to stay nice when you hear some of the shit that comes out of their mouths. It really is. Hey, Fox, how are you today?
Hey, Crystal. I have a question.
Yes.
You guys, I guess it's like it's almost like a 2-part or 3-part question. So deconstruction is difficult, and we go through it. The ones that's been in, not me so much, the cult stuff, but not me so much, because I was the Catholic and I didn't really care about that stuff anymore. But for you guys that's been in it so long, one, you guys are musicians, so you sometimes have to revert back to singing those Christian songs. So how does that affect your mindset, and what place does that take you in? And the other thing is, how do you separate that from what you are deconstructing with? Do it bother you sometimes, or do you be like, you know what, this God is just trash? Because in that mindset, and being that you've been conditioned deeply, it's a challenge to be able to kind of separate, because you've been in it so long. So how does those things affect you guys? And do you kind of revert back to it and be like, oh shit, no, this is not what I'm doing right now? Tommy laughing because we had this discussion when he was. Remember, Tommy, we was talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And that last part of that question cracks me up. Like, do you sometimes revert back to it? Like, I be like, how I got over, how I got over. My soul looks back and wonders how I got over. Like,
You gotta jump back in and be like,
right.
by myself,
by myself,
by myself,
my own wealth. Ooh,
push my way through that mess by myself. Right there, that's what you gotta do. You gotta finish it, right? Just finish it on up now. That's how you jump back out of it.
My personal struggle in the first part of your question makes me emotional, Fox. That's why I think I was so excited to laugh at the last part. Because it's uncomfortable. The fact of the matter is, these songs perpetuate toxic ideas about oneself and a relationship with a God that is not for you and doesn't exist. So yes, sometimes you are caught in that moment where, like, just for historical reasons, I'm doing a presentation. Fox knows this when we were talking about this the other night. I'm doing a presentation at the Santa Monica Broad Museum, which I'm stoked about. It's a really well-paid gig, and I'm getting to work with my old college friends from Baltimore. They're flying people in, so I'm so excited about it. But we are doing some Negro spirituals. Swing Glow is in there somewhere. There's multiple areas to that. One, I'll answer this. One part of it is I have to compartmentalize the Africanism of the art form. Every single American-born art form has been birthed from plantation to Hollywood or wherever it, is published in. But all of these American-born art forms come from us being enslaved and brought to this country. I can't let go of what we did to make music here. However, when using it emotionally and as a tool for a movement, we shall overcome, I have to be careful about how I use an idea that doesn't really exist to back a movement that I need to be real. So compartmentalizing what the art form is separate from its intended meaning by the composer. That's something I'm learning to do. Petty's helping me figure that out. Compartmentalizing the art form of it all. Because I'm a legacy holder of it. I'm responsible for it. How do I deal with that? How do I reconcile? I know all of it. I mastered it. I teach it. How do I then just let go of it all, right? Okay. The other part is, I'm so ready to... I've been drinking and playing gospel music since college. I don't give a fuck about what God think about this shit. I cuss in church. I drink after. I smoke weed all day. I'm high in service. Don't ask me what I did before I got here. All that shit. So I really don't give a fuck. Now it's just about making sure that I'm not stuck in a... what me and Fox talked about also is that cognitive thinking. I don't want to just skip over, I don't give a fuck about this guy, and I still perpetuate some of these ideals. I'm now just so aware of it that I can't look past it. I second guess every damn thing. Okay. I think I've talked long enough.
In Jada's same question.
So for me, even though I was raised a vocalist and I went to college and my voice, my instrument was my voice, I've always been kind of a girl who felt like if a guy could do it, I could do it better. So I fell in love with the musician side of music. And everything for me when it comes to music, as far as instruments and the way something is sung, the melodic nature, the progressions and things like that, the key it's in even, that's all related to sex for me. So for me with music, I fall in love with the music first. So it was always cardinal in nature, and then the message. So, and then I was able to start deconstructing from Christian music, having a spiritual message once I went to my PWI, BGSU, and we were singing the spirituals in our classical settings as part of our regiments for our concerts. So I was already separating things like Follow the Drinking Gourd from its spiritual and Africanic nature to just the fact that it was considered a spiritual in its genre for the nature of our concert. And that was how I learned how to already break away from messaging. So now it's really just about setting. So if I go to the opera, or if I go to a classical concert and they're singing a spiritual, all I hear is the technicality and the musicality of it, not necessarily its message. And whether or not
I'm calling bullshit, Jada. First of all, you ain't gonna go and hear Syracuse choir singing "Still Away" and be like, "Oh, that's really nice the way they did it." No, it's going.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I will still feel it, but it won't be associated. It's not associated to a feeling of a higher power. It's more of a feeling of what it does to me physically. Like I recognize that, minor keys take you certain places. I recognize major keys or trends. I recognize these things take you certain places on an emotional, physical level, and that's it. So that's how I would feel it. But if I go to a church and they start singing Jesus is on the main line, I'm not singing. Because one, I don't believe in that. I know what you're saying, and I don't agree with that message. So I'm not even singing. I can't say that I won't tap my toes or clap my hands. Those are involuntary movements. I cannot be held accountable for them in a Black church. However, I will not be singing. I don't sing those songs with them anymore. So whenever they're singing, I don't sing along. Every once in a while, if it's a song that I really like Hallelujah. Salvation and glory. I'm sorry. I don't care when they start that song. I'm probably going to jump in because I literally love the way the choir does their parts. And it's just unfortunate. But overall, I don't sing if I'm at a black church for any reason. And it's most of the time a funeral if I'm there. So I don't sing. I just be sitting there.
I got
Fox,
one more question.
it's hard.
I see, and I understand that, and it's a struggle every day. So I got one more question because you guys have been in committed relationships, and this is a little bit. I hope it's not too personal, but how do you deal with? I don't know if your significant others are Christian or not, but how do you deal with the indoctrination that happens when you are in a union, as far as marriage or a committed relationship? And now that you've deconstructed or you are deconstructing, how do you deal with that to not let those intrusive thoughts or conditioning affect your deconstruction?
Jada, you've been able to deconstruct with your hubby, right?
Laugh because you knew I was gonna ask that question, Jada. You knew I was coming. You knew I was coming for you.
What's funny is I hate this question, and I'm gonna tell you why I hate this question. When I tell you that I feel like me and my husband's situation is one of those 1 in a million type situations, and you'll be lucky if you find somebody in the same situation like we did. We both grew up around Christian folks, but both in our own way was already pulling away from it. And now that we're together, he's kind of like, I believe in a higher power, but that's as far as it goes. And he's listening to the deconstruction lives with me, and he's laughing at the ridiculous responses from Christians. So I already know that neither one of us identify as, he identifies as agnostic. I'm like, yeah, it depends on the day. Some days I'm agnostic. Some days I'm like, why are you fooling? So it's like, but I don't believe in the Bible anymore. So, and that's where we agree. So as a person who right before this, if it wasn't him, I'm lucky enough to have been going through it single. And then right before that, I probably would have latched on to whoever I ended up being married to. I would say, be firm in your own deconstruction before you get with somebody else who isn't even aware of the contradictions in the Bible. You know, like if they're not even remotely aware of it and not willing to be open-minded and critical about it, I would not even give that relationship a chance, because that is the one thing that the faith teaches that I agree with, is being equally yoked. And if you're not on at least to say, I don't know how people who say they're atheists and married to somebody who's Christian, I don't know how they do it. I really don't, because I personally, but that's just because I see the Christian faith I'm telling you, literally save a Christian, marry an atheist. Absolutely. Because I don't know. I feel like in 2025, it's easier to pull somebody away from Christianity now than it is if you're in a relationship than it would be back, in the 60s, 70s. Further back you go. But like, I genuinely believe being somewhat like on the same page when it comes to religion before you start dating. Like, so if you're full-fledged atheist, I would not even recommend remotely. I wouldn't even recommend becoming intimate with somebody like that, because that exchange of spirits, I'm not spirits necessarily spirits, but that exchange of energy, there it is, just energy, because you still exchange something, and that person's paranoia about that stuff is just, if you cannot do it, don't do it. If you're kind of thinking about deconstructing, find somebody else who's at least questioning the faith. Like, don't get with somebody who's still, no, God is the head of our household. Absolutely not, because that stuff is going to start breaking you apart. And it's just as crucial as being honest about finances. Like, for real, to me, like they go hand in hand. Don't tell me you're good with money and you're not. Don't tell me that you're kind of questioning God and you're actually like, no, I'm cool with it. Like, no, those two things you need to be 100% honest with before you even remotely get into a relationship. So now I'm talking too much. So go ahead, Tommy. I'm passing you the mic.
That's why you my partner, because you make me feel like I don't talk a lot sometimes, and I'll be ready to talk. I think where I am now, as opposed to just maybe a year ago, is drastically different. Now, however, that's a pattern in me. I grow in these really short gaps of time. I do a large amount of growth, and then I experiment with what I've learned for a while. So like I said, I think maybe back in 2016, 17 is when I started to need to get away from colonizer faith to African faith. How that bled into my relationship is I kept like ending up in conversations where I'm like, I guess it's just like something that was interesting to me, so I kept bringing it up, but like about how these stories in the Bible really can't be true. It started off with the flood, the amount of time that the earth is accounted for in the Bible, all these little Sunday school lessons we learned. And it started coming up in my dating conversation. And this is way after my first real relationship. And I'd say only one. I've had long relationships with one person, but not we're dating and we're official type thing. And this one person that I did have a relationship, I moved across the country with, she still believes in all of these things I don't believe in. We had a conversation maybe a couple of months ago before she relocated back to the state that she's from. And she was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm praying and God's gonna get me through this. And I told her, I said, I almost said her name. I said, love, you have done so much with just believing in me. And I've seen what you do without me. Why are you so worried about what's, in front of you? You've done it and proven it to yourself over and over again. This argument that I'm having to advocate for her showed me that I'm way different in the way that I think about things now when it comes to who I give credit to for what is going on. So that's where it starts to come up in relationship with me. I'm not in a relationship. I'm dating. I have a fiance on TikTok. I also have a wife on TikTok. I don't know what that means. I just know I love these women and I think they're amazing and I would never say no to them. Hardly ever. Unless they actually do something immoral. Okay.
One more question and then I'll be done.
This is a problematic question.
Because I've met your friend Key, and Key is still in the faith. I like him. He's really cool. I think he's gonna deconstruct some. But you guys have family members that still are in the faith, that are still stronghold in the faith. Not like mine. Mine are lukewarm, so I don't have a problem with them. But you guys have ones that are deep down in the faith. How do you deal with them? What do you say as far as your deconstruction?
What you want to do, Jada? You, me first. Partner. Okay.
You say your time.
The first one that I think about is my mom. I shared with through, and so I think all of you, a very problematic thing I had, issue I had with my mom last month for Easter holiday. And one thing that I try to do, I guess, to help myself cope with what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling from these people, from these mindsets, is one, that I used to be just like that. And I don't
Tommy,
know.
before you finish, how impactful is on your mindset also? Like, does it disturb you? Okay, those are two. That's a two-part. Okay, thanks.
I said, fuck this, Mom. I said, I'm not eating with y'all. I'm not going to be at dinner. Fuck this. I went to the back. I burned a lot of herb. And I drank a lot of liquids. And I said, fuck this quote unquote family gathering and eating. My mom not even about that religious shit like that. Like I don't know. Anyway, I said I'm separating from this because my mind can't cope with this. And sometimes that's not the solution. Well, at least for me, that's not the solution. I think the real solution is for me to go up there and tell that sucker he can't eat here. And I'm trying to censor myself, not because we're not adults here, Crystal, but I don't want to just be flamboyant and belligerent with my cursing. I can really do that. And I'm talking about stories that affect me personally, so I don't want to just get caught up in that and just be loose with my words. But yeah, I think the solution is bat in hand, like you're not welcome here, and that's just not who my mom or where my mom is right now. So in that moment, my mom spends so much time, so much energy, and so much on me. I can sacrifice one dinner so that she can figure it the fuck out. However, the conversation the next day was, what happened? And guess what it was? Fun. I feel like I sound like you now. Guess what it was? She said, oh, he said this, and he thought he was getting away with it. But her aunt was over here, and she said, you fucked him, not me. So guess what? I don't give a... It went up in my, like a good old African-American house family gathering where somebody got told about what they doing. So without me even being there, truth still came to light. And I ended up getting to be on the side that said, I will not stand for it. I won't be in the same room as it. And it took a lot for that to happen. Like, I really called petty. I hit the Discord up like, y'all, what is going on? This is unreal. Like, am I supposed to just let this slide? And no, it's not let it slide. I let my mom know, like, this is how I feel. That's your house. And guess what? I'm going home. I'm going to go to my house. Because in my house, this don't go down. And you know that. I know that. Cool. I don't know if that's a solution, though, Fox. It's just that's all I could do in that moment.
That's why you a psychology major. Aren't you, Fox? Or studying the mind, whatever it is that you over there doing. Because this question right here, I had to go get elevated, take a walk, talk to all 13 of the other people that I talked to. We ain't going to go back there. Before I even answered this question, I had to get it like, because when I tell you, for me, this is one of those things that this is why the community is so important. Because there really is no answer for how to deal with it, how bad it affects, because each conversation could be different. Each interaction could be different. You could have one where they just say, oh yeah, thank God for waking up this morning, and you just chuckle to yourself and you go on about your day and it has no effect. And then you have situations where people like me, whose family doesn't even deal with me anyway, because, and I'm going to tell you, because there's a lot of stuff I'm saying tonight is the first time I've been saying out loud to anybody outside of my husband, because these are realizations that are truly coming forth and I want to be authentic in every way possible. But I genuinely believe my family currently right now don't communicate with me on the sheer fact that I'm living the dream that they all want and don't have. And it's not my fault. I don't rub it in people's faces. I'm genuinely happy. It's the first time I've personally been happy in my own life, because I've sacrificed and given up so much in the name of this God, in the name of trying to please my family. And now that I'm living at least a piece of happiness, I'm protecting that peace and setting boundaries. And instead of them at least be willing to have the conversation or try to respect the boundaries, they just tell me it's my issue. They, as I admitted earlier, don't even know that I identify now as someone who is, apostate in as far as they need to know. Because I told you the atheist and the word is just not something you can really use, even though here's the misogyny in it. Even though my uncle has been an atheist my entire life. like my entire adult life at least. So I think he told me about 25 he was atheist. No one questions him because he's a guy. But the minute I say it,
We all got that uncle, right? That uncle, right, Jada? The uncle that do all the herb.
Literally does all the herb, literally lived all the life. He's actually out there with you. Y'all probably around the corner from each other in real life, but nobody's questioned his atheism, and they all hang and deal with him, and they don't say nothing about his soul. But the minute I even remotely sound like I'm lying to them, I'm going to, like, it's like, for what? Like, I'm literally not even in communication with them. And that's why I'm like, I have to pour everything positive as far as breaking generational curses, as far as showing my son to be a critical thinker, and making sure that my family can't even come back around and try to gaslight him into thinking that the separation was my fault, because I already know they already talk like that. And so it's just, I can't even tell you what they're gonna act like once they find out that for me it's fuck God and it's fuck God to the highest power. Like they like, I'm literally, for me the conversation would be, I don't care if he is real. Like I'm like Jeff out here in these streets. I got a vendetta. I have nothing but 1 and 2. Both of them are 9s, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. So it's like don't, I have nothing for this guy at all, and they don't know it. Because for them, they think because of this guy, they're better than me.
Yeah.
So it's like every conversation is different. Every conversation is a different emotional ride. And all I can say is, as a person, you will be deconstructing it as long as you continue to deal with family that is like that. So if you're gonna, that's why I'm grateful for this community. And don't think my husband doesn't go through it too, because his sister is a pastor. His mother-in-law was a mother, or not mother-in-law, but his sister's mother, like motherboard, like his other sister. They wake up every morning.
I was about to say his mother-in-law.
No, I mean, she's like the mother to all of them, even though she's not his mother because his mother passed away. But she's heavy in the church. They literally wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and earlier than that, but they call each other from 5 a.m. to 7. They're praying. And I just got a job at the school with his sister, who I love dearly. And so when we talk about circles, Tommy, it was just sitting here going like, yes, because she's like technically in my circle. Like, I really need to have this conversation with her, because I don't like feeling like I'm not being honest with her about this, but I know how she holds it dear. So when I tell you, for like the last year and a half at least, I've been trying to find the words to have the conversation with her, and this is my sister-in-law. Whereas with my mother, it'd be like, keep your God, fuck your God. I don't give a fuck about what your God thinks about what the fuck I'm doing. Like, that's literally how the conversation would be with my mother, and these are both devout Christians. That's why I say every conversation is going to be different, and it all depends on the level of care that you have for that person, and whether or not you really want that person in your life, or whether or not you're okay with that road being tough going forward as somebody who stepped away from the faith. And these are the things I think about every day, on top of raising a 20-year-old, a 21-year-old who acts like a 20-year-old, because I swear. But I want him to be this critical, because the gaslight is so much deeper than the religion in my family. And I need him to be this critical, and I need him to never, ever, ever question my love. And those are the only 2 things that matter to me, is for him to be this critical about everything that's presented to him in life, and that he never, ever has to question my love for him. It's a lot. And you guys literally help me get through it every day. So I'm just like so grateful for this community on this end. Like, this community is literally everything for me right now. So
Yeah. That is a lot, but I really like the values that are the most important to you, because I think those are the most important. That he knows you love him, and that he's a critical thinker. Like, he's going to be, life is going to be great if he knows those things,
Literally. That's what I'm grateful that I learned it right when becoming a mother, unlike some people who never recognize that, those are core values that will get your child farther in life than anything that you think you're teaching them or you think they're showing them, especially when you think you're getting it from a God like this, you know.
Okay, Crystal, I lied. One more question. One more question.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You are really
I
helping
want
me
to
right
ask some
now.
more.
Fox, you gotta
No,
share.
seriously,
Oh
Fox,
my
no,
God.
Okay, it's
I'm
one more question.
No, seriously, I want you to know these questions are helping me so much right now. I was so nervous about coming up here tonight. I was just like, what do I even have to offer? Tommy J is this awesome guy, and I'm just like the sidekick, but I'm okay with being the sidekick because he's the coolest guy. The
Nope,
sidekick
not
for
gonna
it,
let
if
you
know
do
what I
that.
mean.
Not gonna let you do
No,
that.
listen, that's
Quan,
what
I got
my
a special
mental-
serenade for you later, just for you, letting Fox have her third question.
We gotta get.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, you can let that
I'm
one.
gonna
Go
get
ahead.
last
Yeah,
question.
go
I
ahead.
don't promise because I break those because those are not true.
Yes.
So do you ever get like, because you guys have deeply rooted Christian.
I'll be right back.
Okay,
You guys
Christian.
keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay, you have deeply rooted Christian people in your family that holds those Christian values. Do you ever get, when you start to admit to them, like, look, I don't believe in your God. I'm not doing this with you. Do you get that feel of anxiety, or do you get like emotionally sad? I'm not gonna say depressed because depressed is a strong word, but I'll say sad when you have to tell them because you're going against everything that they've conditioned you to be. So do you feel that anxiety and that sadness, and how do you cope with it? And I promise that I don't promise, but I'll let Quan go after that. But it's interesting to me because I know about Quan, but I want to know about y'all.
Mine was actually gonna be short this time, but if you want to go, Tommy, you can
go ahead.
I was gonna say, yes. I don't know if you heard me in my other answer because I talked for so long, but did I say a year and a half? Because I mean that in every sense of the word, as in every time I think about having this conversation, I go through that exact cycle of, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. This is where I'm going to do it. I can't do it. Oh my God, what will happen if I do it? But what always brings me back, and I will say this, is because depending on the person, what takes me out of that sad part is what our relationship is. And I did get to kind of experience that with a college friend. I've been friends with her since we met in undergrad, and so that would be a little over 20 years now. And she is always very much still thank God, but God, that's how she talks still. And we went to see Anthony Hamilton on Sunday while everybody was like going to see Pinkbeard. I was there in solidarity, but I was at an Anthony Hamilton concert. And she loves Anthony Hamilton, but she was still talking about some personal things that were going on, and she was starting to go into the, I'm just going to pray, and I know God got me, and this, that, and the other. And I said to her, because of how much I genuinely support who she is as a person, her light is one of those lights that I literally will fan to keep the fire going because I believe in her so much. I had to let her know that first, and then I told her that I didn't believe in the God, and I'm as far as she can consider me just agnostic at this point, but I'd rather not. And for conversation's sake, I'm glad I got it out because I knew in my heart it was going to be okay, because no sooner than I got it out that she responded with, hey, that's okay with me. Because as far as I'm concerned, when I say God, I really starting to feel more and more like I'm talking to the ancestors. I said, see, I knew we were going to be okay. So, and we are. Now, my sister-in-law, like I said, I did say a year and a half. So I'm still going through the emotional roller coaster with it, but I feel like it's still going to be okay, because the people who genuinely love you, they will love you regardless. the ones who use it to lord it over you as a reason to keep you in line, because that's literally what it is. It's just something to keep you in line, to make you live out the legacy that they've foreseen for their family or for their name. Like, I had an uncle just the other day talking about the family name, and I'm saying, well, thank goodness I'm married. I don't even have to claim that bad boy. So it's like things that they care about, especially when it aligns with the Christianity. If they're using it to keep you in line, then you just have to just be prepared to either weather that storm or walk away. But when it's somebody who you feel an incredible bond to, they're going to love you regardless. And you guys will be able to, that walk will get easier and easier with time, because of how much you guys built that on genuine, unconditional love.
I'll have to say I disagree with my partner there. And I love moments like this. I don't have too much trouble or any trouble at all with questioning someone's motives, no matter who they are. And the person I trust the most in life so far is my mother. She bears the responsibility of teaching me to be the kind of thinker and the kind of man that I am. We were having a conversation the other day, and I told her that something I'm noticing in these conversations, and that's the solution that I use, by the way, Fox, to deal with all this. I talk to people like you. I adore your mind, Fox. And I'm so blessed to know people like you. You're not the only genius up here on this panel. I say that facetiously, of course. I'm, no comparison. I just love my baby up there at the top.
Boo.
Hello, my baby.
I told my mom, I said, you taught me to love people based on their morals and not their religion. She really did teach me that, in spite of all her Christian upbringing and everything that taught her against that in her Bible. She raised me to judge people's character off of how they treat each other. And she lives that to a fault. I tell her all the time, you're too nice to strangers. It's going to put us in a position where I have to smack her. Okay. So she raised me to be that way. And the scripture says, train up a child in the way that he shall go, and when he gets older, he shall not depart from it. And I think Christians have a hard time disconnecting from their messed up Christian teaching and doctrine. And that's the way they were trained. That's the way they were brought up. I was brought up to love. So sometimes, and I don't know how far away I got from your question, Fox, but that's the anxiety that doesn't exist for me. I've always been able to judge people just off of the questions that we're asking them. Is this okay? No. I don't know how, with all of that, I was still saying, I've been washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb. Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? I've been washed in the blood of the Lamb. I don't know how I was still indoctrinated into these, maybe because of the art form, maybe because I was just my placement, but now I recognize all of the problematic areas of it and how we don't play R. Kelly no more. type thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is where I am now. And when I have those conversations, I don't have that anxiety because I never had that anxiety with all the indoctrination. I've always kind of been just kind of provocative and edgy in quote unquote the faith. And then how I deal with it. Jada, her child has so many sound effects. Okay, let's come back. How I deal with it is talking to people like you. People like you free my mind. That's why the song exists, Christina. Because people like Christina. Because people like you, Fox. And I had already written Christina before I met you and Quan.
Saquon.
It's a chrono. That's just when it was written. I don't want to take away. I don't want to do all that. I just know that it's people like you, people like Pastor B, that keep me going. Okay, we have a lovely guest at the top that's been waiting so patiently.
Juan has been waiting so.
I know. I just want to tag. I want to tag on to what you just said. It's very interesting that you say that you were indoctrinated to those sounds. And hold on. Come out of there. Thank you.
Pastor B entered the room.
Because for me, as a person who was the faith was used to reprimand me on a regular basis. So all I ever knew was the things that I was doing wrong that was going to send me to hell. So a lot of what I was indoctrinated with was extra biblical context. And then when you tack on, yes, I had questions about the biblical stories, but I wasn't allowed to question God out loud to these people. So they were just questions that I had to myself. So I don't think I've ever truly was indoctrinated by the biblical text itself. I was more so indoctrinated by the external biblical context that was always, pounded into my head and then backed by Bible verses. So I had to become a people watcher. So that's why for me, only certain people get anxiety because I don't know that version of Christian very well. Like I speak of my sister-in-law because she is, to me, the most shining example of a person who is very kind to strangers to a fault. I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with people who do it because they truly believe that if they look like a Christian, if they act like a Christian, then you won't question them. And I watch what people do when they think nobody's looking. And that's what I log. So knowing a person's motives for me are pretty easy to read because I can just listen to the words that come out their mouth in a normal conversation, watch how they move in a certain situation, and can almost guarantee that I'll be 80 to about 86% correct on what their actual motive is. But seeing people who are genuinely good because of the faith is a rarity for me. So that's why when I'm dealing with those people, I'm like, are you going to use this faith against me the way my family used it against me in order to condemn me and make me believe these negative things? Or are you going to actually still love me for who I am and not let the faith dictate our relationship? So that's where the anxiety comes for me.
And I'm sorry, partner. I forgot that I disagreed with you in the front of my statement. I always got to let you say something back after disagreeing with you because you're my partner. And Pastor B, do you see my chest hairs out today? Your mustache is far forgotten, baby.
I love Pastor B, though. Fox, thank you for asking questions. If you want to stay up here, we're going to play our game in just a little bit. And I love having people up here when we play. So feel free to stay up here if you want.
Stay, Fox, stay.
I'm horrible at games. Tommy J made me feel bad. And I have a bad complex now because I couldn't figure out which train was going where. And so I lost the game because I couldn't figure out the trains. and it's all Tommy's fault. And the only person that got it was Oso. And so I'm here now only to support Jada
Oh
and
shit.
Quan, and Tommy is on my crap list right now. So
Okay. Well, I just want you to know everybody sucks at this game, but we equally suck and nobody keeps score. So it's fun. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay.
yay! And that's why I love you, Crystal. That's why I love you. Thank you.
I love you
again
too.
for letting me. Thank you for letting me ask questions, and you are so awesome for doing this. I really appreciate you for this.
I'm
I
going to be
really do.
DMing you. Hopefully you'll come up one day and let us talk with you too. So,
Oh, then I'll be dancing. I can't sing like them, but I can dance.
all
I don't know.
right.
I might drop it like it's hot though, Crystal. I don't know. People might get hot and bothered.
I might, you know, it might be like my most famous show yet. I don't know. Like, we might need to see that. Quan, did you have some questions for Tommy and Jada? Because I think you've got questions for Tommy.
Yes, I do. I have questions for the both of them. Hello, good people. Good evening. So my question is about music. Because I know that these two individuals are both lovers of music. And I would like to know, when did you realize that you loved her? And how do you nourish your relationship with music as it pertains to your deconstruction?
Partner.
My original love, oh, God. When I tell y'all, everything about the beginning for me was artificial. Even my love for music was artificial. I genuinely loved it because my mother loved it. My middle name is Mahalia. That was her favorite gospel singer. That's who she patterned me to sing after, and I did it because I genuinely wanted her to, at the very least, like me. I mean, I thought she loved me. So for me, it was artificial, but it became real when I first got introduced to secular music. When I first was like knowing that there were other versions out there outside of gospel, outside of church, and hearing like even classical music. Like the first time I heard of Beethoven, I heard not for Elise, because I'm not gonna front. I actually absolutely hate the intro so much that I can never get to the second movement in for Elise. But when I got introduced to out the world music, that's when I fell in love. So I would say, thank you for taking me through that journey. I would say officially 91. So I was probably 10, almost 10. Nope, I was 7. So 7. And it was old school R&B because of my daddy, who would be the only time he got to listen to R&B music was when he was in the car. And every once in a blue moon, he was allowed to take us places by himself. And so that's when we would get to listen to the R&B. So I was about 7. And that's when I was like, ooh, listen to the way they sing about something other than God. I love it. And now I'm basically courting music again, starting over, falling in love with it again. It's really difficult to not reach back into Christian music because there's so much about the musicality of it that I love, from, like I said, choir songs, modulations, praise and worship. Like each of those categories means something different to me as far as how the key is, what key they're in, and how like the not the message per se, but the amount of tricks they do. That's what I'm looking. The amount of tricks they do, the amount of overlaying music where they take an R&B song and slap it into the bass line of a gospel song. Like I loved all of that when it came to church music. So in my deconstructing, I'm just trying to every once in a while enjoy it just on the musicality of it, and that's it. Not the message. But it is a very difficult thing to let go because I fell in love with it first. So when it comes to as far as music is concerned.
I'd say I don't think it was before I think my introduction to music was before I was aware of it. So my mom tells me that she bought my first piano when I was 3, and I just kept like reaching for a piano. I mean, it could have just been what they just kept putting me in front of, right? I grew up in a very not musical family like in my household, but my mom was in a church where the person that influenced me musically the most was the minister of music and was very popular across this nation and the world at that time of my birth. And so I was around some of the greatest musicians ever. The first time me hearing Greg Philliganes, one of the greatest pianists in the world, was at Mount Moriah, which is a church, an infamous church in Los Angeles, right here off of like Vernon and something. So like things like that were just very normal for me growing up. I was always around. So I'm sure I had an inclination toward music. I was around some really good music. And then it just grew. They just kept encouraging it and supporting it. My godmother's sister taught piano lessons. I took piano lessons from her, and then her mentor taught me piano lessons once I got intermediate. I just kept leaning my life into that. So it just, I think it was like more like a snowball effect of something that I was just in front of. I'm sure that if there's other things that I'm interested in, that if I was surrounded by people that cooked, or if I was surrounded by people that gardened, or surrounded by, I don't know about mechanics. I'm not really into mechanicism and like electric work and stuff like that. But like other things, like I like working with wood, and I guess that is kind of engineering. I built some furniture. So I don't know. I think if I was surrounded by other things, I would be into those things too. And then how do I deal with my love for music now that I'm in this place of awareness, right? Some of it is compartmentalizing it, which I'm needing help with. One of my best friend, that I just met. I'm just so privileged to know people like this. But Petty, luckily, it's such a blessing. And I used to just say, thank God. Like, God, what do you think of me to just put these people in my life? But it's got to be me, right? That I'm drawn to these people, right? But Petty is so amazing, and she's helping me understand more about how I can salvage the art form and the important cultural pieces of the music while still understanding the harm that it can cause, while the way that it can be used, and what is its utilization now. So now that we know that the harm that it's caused, does it have any utility? And the only utility I see at this point is educational. If it don't have nothing to do with education, it definitely don't need to be sung in church on Sundays as a way to motivate you through your week. My praise is the weapon that my enemy drowns in. Yuck. I don't like my enemy, but I'm not imagining or dreaming or fantasizing or singing songs about them drowning. Even Trump, I don't like his ass, but I'm not imagining nasty ways for him to perish. I just don't want him to be president.
But if he did perish, that would be okay too, though, right? Like, I mean, like,
Just not my area of what
I'm not going to sit here and fantasize about it. I'm just saying if it does happen.
I think you might be.
I'm manifesting
May
a
or
little,
may
okay?
not have. I may or may not have created a sim of him and then made him go around and fight everybody in the town and send him home and remove the door and the windows and the refrigerator in the bathroom and put it and left only a stove in there and fast forwarded the game. I may or may not have done that. Thank you.
You may or may not be my hero now. I'm just saying.
I'm rethinking like where I need to spend some of my imagination.
I literally playing COD. If somebody's on my team and they have Trump in their name, I immediately take shots at them. I get kicked so many times for that. So trust me, I fantasize about it in other ways. Like that.
I want to say thank you for sharing your passions for music, because I understand that, and both of your stories are beautiful. I admire your musicality. And Jada, we gonna get together and do this. We got the, you know what I'm saying? You said you wanted to harmonize with me, baby. Come on.
Yes,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
telling you, your voice. I love listening to you sing, and you got that vibrato that starts off real low and almost faint, unless you're paying attention, and then when you decide to let it come out for a long note, it's like, oh my god, yes, right there. That's it, right there. Serious. Your voice is amazing to me. Like, so serious. I love it. So yes, let me know. I'm making sure that I keep mine healthy now, because there was a period where I didn't have it, but that was a conversation for another time. But yeah.
Tommy J is thinking of a song for me to sing. He gave me one already. I'm still praying. I haven't heard from the Lloyd yet. So I'm just waiting on the answer to rain down from heaven like a melody. Thank you.
Well, are you guys ready to play my game?
We are. I'm so ready.
Okay.
So ready to
I
lose.
love games.
Okay, here's how it goes. We're going to play Divine or Decline. You guys, if you subscribe to my channel, you have the Divine or Decline stickers. So go ahead and put those in the chat for everybody to see. Also, thank you so much for the 29,000 likes. If we could tap with the 27 people that are in here and get me up to, let's say 35,000 before the game ends, that would be amazing. And also, thank you for the new subscribers. If you're not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? I bring you great entertainment. Tommy, sing for us. What are you talking about?
Literally serenading.
So I bring you the best creators. And if you're a creator and you haven't been on the show yet, just DM me. I'd love to have you on the show. But here's how we play the game. I'm going to read you a phrase, and then if it's from the Bible, and just so you know, I use the New American Standard Bible because it's copyright free, you're going to say divine, okay? Or put the divine sticker in the chat. If it is from the Book of Mormon, the Quran, or I made it up, then you're going to say decline. There are no points. Points don't matter. It's just fun. And yes, everybody ends up cussing me out during this game. Okay? So I'm used to it. Okay?
And
May I say,
and her
Quan
made up
is-
stuff
Quan is
is
a-
good. Like really
Quan
good.
is a cheater, and
Okay.
Quan likes to win.
What?
So just be careful with Quan, okay? All right.
I didn't
Okay.
even do anything
All right.
yet. Oh my goodness.
I got my eye on Quan. All right, and what I'll do is I'll just go from the top down to the bottom, and you guys tell me divine or decline. All right, here we go. And you guys in chat, play along. YouTube, play along as well. Here we go. The wicked are like the troubled sea. When it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. Grana.
Divine.
Thank you for subscribing.
I think.
Okay, Quan.
Decline.
Oh, you're decline.
Decline.
Fox. Okay.
I
All
decline.
right, and Fox is decline. All right, and thank you, Jada and
Decline.
Jada.
Decline.
All right, and Tommy.
Decline.
That is divine. That's Isaiah 57:20. Okay. Number two.
Wait, which
You
version
said
are you reading
Isaiah
again?
what?
Isaiah 57:20.
I love Isaiah. And like Isaiah
And
is
this
my
is
Which
the
favorite.
New
version?
American. This is the New American Standard Bible. It's a horrible translation, but it's copyright free, and I don't feel like dealing with any
Yeah, no, it
Christians.
is
If it
working
was
for you.
KJV, I
It
would
is
eat y'all up. I'm
right.
telling
I
you.
was like, it is
You ain't got
working
nothing
for
on me
you
in
right now.
KJV. What was you?
Well, KJV, I wouldn't know
Pentecostal?
anything.
You said that was
I was a Methodist, and then I was Quaker. So
You said that was Isaiah what?
The jump. Crystal, wait a minute. I haven't heard your story. I want to hear your story one day.
okay, I
wanna hear
will
your
tell
story.
my story one day.
Yay!
Isaiah 57:20 was that one. Okay, number two. He who carries his
Yeah.
pride like he
No,
who
sorry.
carries
I'm
his
going
pride. That's okay.
Okay, sorry.
He who carries his pride like a crown shall have it crushed under the heel of the meek. Grana,
Decline.
Quan,
Decline.
Fox,
Ooh, that's a good one. And oh man, I'm gonna decline that one though, because that sounds like
Alright.
some Game of Thrones.
okay, Jada.
Read it again.
All right. He who carries his pride like a crown shall have it crushed under the heel of the meek.
I'm gonna say divine.
All right, Tommy.
Yeah, I'm saying divine too because it sounds like a Christian principle. It just don't sound the right way. So I'm thinking maybe it's the translation. But that sounds like some Christian
Or
shit.
it could be because I made it up, and that was
Yes. Oh my
decline.
Yes. I'm done being on
That
the
was a
side
hard
of
one,
wrong.
though.
That's it. Go ahead. That's it. I'm
That's
done.
amazing.
Okay. Number three. And God is with those who endure patiently, and in the end, they will be victorious. Grana.
I'm going to go with divine.
All right, Quan.
Divine.
Fox.
That is definitely divine because of these Christians. That's divine.
Jada.
Divine. Whatever everybody else
Tommy.
says, divine.
Decline.
Tommy, you are right. That is declined. That's from Quran
Oh.
2153.
Sounded so good.
153.
I know your
that's
tail.
right.
I know
You
your
did
tail,
say
Crystal.
that they have to be okay.
Oh, you do? You think you do? Watch.
I play poker.
You'll go. I do too. I do too. You'll think you know my tell. Okay. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword.
Divine.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, divine?
Divine.
All right, Quan.
Divine.
Fox.
Divine. That one's divine.
Jade. Okay.
And if you read that, I'm
Jada.
gonna be mad.
I'm going with decline.
Decline. And
No, I
Tommy.
said no. I said
Oh.
decline. That's what I said.
Divicline. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Guess get special privileges. Okay.
No, okay, I'm going
Yeah.
with divine for real. I'm going with
Okay.
divine for real.
Divine.
Divine. I forgot what I read.
Two-edged sword.
Sharper
Oh,
than a
it's declined.
two-edged sword.
Wait.
A
Wait,
sword.
no, it's
Two
not.
edged sword.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was
Double-edged
divine.
sword.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
divine.
I'm about to say that was.
That was divine.
I have
That's
to get at least
Hebrews.
one.
That's Hebrews 4:12. I'm sorry. I lost my place. I'm like, wait, what did I just read?
The only one that
Okay.
I knew, I was like, I know this one. Yeah.
I'm on a street, Crystal.
Okay. Tommy's got it all figured out. Let's see if we get the rest without missing. Okay. Behold, their hearts were hardened, yea, and they did forget the Lord their God. Grana.
Oh my gosh, that could be anything. I'm going to go with divine.
Okay, Quan.
Divine.
Okay, Fox.
I'm going with decline because it sounds too good to be true.
Right.
Jada.
I'm going with decline.
All right, Tommy.
Divine.
And that would be decline. That is the Book of Mormon, Alma 45:21.
Go
There
He
are
got that though. He
versions
got
almost
that. You know where he
identical to
got
Gotta
that,
get
though.
in different
Go Fox.
translation because this ain't even it. Because it's so
I
similar
knew
You
it.
see,
to
see,
other
Crystal.
stuff in
You
the
see what I was
KJV.
saying? You see
Like
what I was
it's
saying, Crystal? Sore
huh?
loser. Sore loser.
No,
So
I'm
look,
not.
we're not going by
I
points.
am not
Cause
the
then
sore
she'll be
loser.
crying.
I'm
That's what I'm
telling you.
saying.
No, it's the
No, it's
See,
translation. It sounds just like stuff that's in the KJV, but it's
no, and that's what
it's
I was
different
gonna
wording,
say. Yeah, I
so I
was gonna
can't
say the
catch
Well, you
it.
Mormon
know,
ones.
look, I'm gonna tell y'all, right? I'm gonna tell y'all, it's not there. Okay, stop. I want y'all to stop it right now. You know what I'm saying? Stop being the sore people that you are. It is not in the Bible.
the
It's
Book
in the
of
Bible, just
Mormon
not those
stole
exact
from the
words.
Bible. The Book of
That's
Mormon
true.
Yeah.
and the Quran stole from the Bible. That's why it's hard. 'Cause
Yep,
they
that
just
was a really
stole
good
stuff.
one. That was a really good one,
Okay.
Kristen.
All right. A man may plant virtue like a seed, but if he waters it with deceit, no fruit shall grow. Grana.
I'm going with divine. I think
Okay,
I'm
Quan.
wrong.
Decline. That ain't in
Okay,
there.
Fox.
That's divine because
All
God's
right.
stupid.
That's bad. Jada.
I was gonna say read it again.
Okay.
The whole thing.
A man may plant virtue like a seed, but if he waters it with deceit, no fruit shall grow.
Decline.
All right, Tommy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say decline. Y'all gotta remember, decline means sometimes it's in the Quran. That sounds like a Quran verse
That's
to me.
true.
Yeah,
It
that's what I
does mean that. And that is decline because I made it up.
Wow, that was really good.
Go Fox. Go Fox. I told you guys
He's
stupid.
fooling me.
But you not
It's
stupid,
like
Crystal.
Baccarat. I'm on the right side of
You
things.
smart. You know you be reading God's mind because God said that nobody can read his mind, but you can. And you know the stupid shit that he probably say, but Crystal, you not. You know that he dumb as hell and he gonna say some dumb shit. Yes, Crystal.
Yes,
That's what I'm
yes.
talking about. I love that. I love that.
Dugald said, "Oh, this sounds like bullshit." So it's from the Bible. I said, "The Book of Mormon, the Quran, and the Bible are all bullshit." So
Period.
that's really not going to narrow it down
Not
for you very
deducing
much.
anything. You haven't deduced
So is
anything,
Crystal.
sir.
That's the problem. Crystal's full of bullshit here, too. Just for the
Crystal
game.
not
Just
full
a
of
little
bull.
bit.
No. Crystal not full of bullshit. Crystal just know how to get to those damn Christians and to say some shit and they be like, oh yeah, you're right. And Crystal be like, you dumb as hell, you stupid mother father. You stupid. I love that shit. Yes, go, Crystal, go.
Okay.
She said nope.
Number
I wrote that one.
Right.
All right. Do not be wise in your own eyes, for the Lord. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Grana.
I could finish that verse, so I know that's divine.
Okay, Quan.
Yes, indeed, that is divine. Thank you.
All right, Fox.
Again, for the stupid Christians, yes, that is divine.
Okay,
Lean out on their
Jada.
own understanding.
This was actually a verse used to reprimand me, so it's divine.
Okay, Tommy.
I am going to say divine because I don't know, and everybody else said divine.
That was decline.
What?
See?
No, we
I
read.
just
I was like,
You be cheating. Oh my God. Why did you cheat?
I just wanted to piss you guys off. I'm just kidding.
I need psychotherapy because why do I have that word in my head?
I was gonna go to my own couch with that one. I was like, wait a minute, am I right?
I just had to mess with you a minute. Y'all were so positive about that one. I had to take you down a notch for a second.
I am now feeling like I have no value or worth.
See? I've been wronged. I've been done a disservice. I've been cheated, bamboozled, swindled even.
Finagled, bamboozled.
I'm about to say it was extra biblical. Are you telling me my my brother was lying this whole time.
Okay, number 8. And they shall be cast out, for their garments are stained, and they hid their sins beneath the altar. Grana.
I'm gonna say divine.
Okay, Quan.
Not just be feeling like I'll be copying because I feel like that's divine. Isn't it?
Okay.
I'm not copying off of you, Grana. Please. I'm not.
That's decline. That's decline because they would have talked about the 2 fabrics. That's decline, brother. That's decline.
Okay. Jada.
I'm going with
Hey,
decline. I'm going with decline because how do you hide your sins? Okay, how do you hide them? Isn't he omnipotent or something like that?
Put some fig leaves on. I heard it works.
Yep, exactly.
Tommy.
I think that's a decline. I think it sounds too Game of Thrones.
So that means Book of Mormon, because that's decline and that's Book of Mormon. Mosiah 2730. Paraphrase a little bit.
I'm telling you,
Thank you,
if I was at the Baccarat table, I'd be winning right now.
For the only person that knows only Isaiah 45:7, I am doing so well right now.
Say something from Job. Come on, say something from Job.
Okay, number 9. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Grana.
I'm gonna say it doesn't matter what I say. You're gonna say the opposite. So I'm gonna go decline because it just sounds too good. I'm going with that
Okay.
thought.
Okay, Quan.
You know what I'm gonna say? I need to be in a different spot on the queue so nobody thinks I'm copying.
Fox.
Why would you copy me?
I'm gonna go divine because God is vague. Divine.
He is pretty vague. Jada.
Do the opposite of me.
See, every time y'all do that, then I feel like she got to read it again.
Okay, all right. Indeed, with hardship comes ease.
Oh yeah, decline.
All right, Tommy.
One thing you got to know about Jada is you're going to always have to reread the prompt for Jada. If you ever been to game night, I'm going to say decline. Decline.
That is decline. That's Quran 94:6.
Man,
I'm protesting. I'm protesting.
No, only one
People are
person's
opposing me.
Okay, you guys. Number 10, the final one. This is for all the points. Winner takes all. I don't even know what that means. But okay. The fool builds his house among storms and curses the rain when the walls fall in. Grana.
That better be divine, because if it's not, then I don't know the Bible at all.
Okay. Quan.
No, you guys ever watch The Office and you be like, if I can't scuba dive, what does this all mean for? Okay, sorry.
Because I need to make a statement and differ from Grana at some point in these questions. I'm going to say decline because that sounds like the 3 Little Pigs. Thank you.
Okay. Fox.
And I just like to go against Quan, so I'm gonna say divine because of
Block box.
Okay, Jada.
We're just gonna keep this every other box going because I'm going decline.
Okay, Tommy, what are you gonna do? Keep it going or break it all up?
I agree. Also, decline. It sounds like a fairy tale. But I mean, what doesn't in the Bible? Decline.
That is decline. I made it up.
Hey, Jada Waiter. We got
She
it
copied the
right.
exact story.
Jada
She
Waiter.
set up by
Make your
copying
own
the exact
Bible.
story. How
Make
is
your
that
own Bible.
divine?
That's what's up. Make
I
your own
know.
Bible because it works out. It
I have
works
an
out. I
announcement.
believe everything.
I just want to say to Fox, nanny, nanny, boo, boo.
Hey, I got half of them right. I can't complain. No, I didn't. I only got 4. Never mind.
Okay, well, I got them all right, so just saying.
That
Say
last
that
one
I'm
felt
a winner
terrible.
in my own mind.
Of the wise
queen in
man
decline.
who built his house upon the rock is almost those exact same words. So
I know.
that was unfair.
I just want to say everybody that y'all answers are always decline, and I'm the winner in my own mind, and I will always be the winner because I'm a winner.
Fake
Yes,
news.
that's
This
it.
is fake news.
Okay, so
Way to center
Jada,
yourself.
Tommy, when do you guys go live again?
Look at my partner. She's just like,
No, I was trying to see if y'all could tell if I was pretending to be frozen. It didn't work. So with
Going
that
live Saturday. They going live Saturday. Crystal, they going live Saturday. I'm gonna put it on them. They going live Saturday because that's what happens. They go live Saturday during during that time frame of like between like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then they do their thing because Tommy is doing a Broadway play or a play that is probably going to end up on Broadway, and they are working on this project. They didn't tell you about that, huh?
Nice.
I can't believe y'all too. Tell her.
we were moving into
He
that
hinted
just now.
at it. He hinted at it when Thinker was on my live, but they do need to tell us more.
okay, so me and Jada just started going live maybe a month ago, or 2 months ago now, huh?
Yeah, about 2 months now.
We were trying to go live every other Friday, but our schedules have been like pretty much every Friday we go live if we can. It's either a safe decon where we do stuff like this, have games and, just have fun deconstructing from our faith and other things too. And then we also have a night where we are writing a musical about fuck God. Why? There's so many reasons. And so we want to write songs about it. We want to tell a story. And like Fox said, it's going to be on Broadway one day. Something like that.
I hope.
Or film or something. And we're also writing a dictionary. There's a lot of words that Christians make up on these lives that we hear.
Yes.
So many.
Confiscate.
You guys, I heard a guy say chattel slavery today on Christina Carroll's live.
What
He
is
was
that?
a doctor, and he said,
No way.
I'm not talking about chattel slavery.
Oh,
You mean
I
chattel?
heard that. I didn't even
You
realize
gotta be
that's what he was
kidding
trying
me.
to say. I thought he was talking about a perfume. I thought
I
it was
know,
a brand.
right?
I was so lost.
How are you a
What
doctor?
an
You
idiot.
are not a doctor.
A doctor of
Oh.
idiocy, maybe.
I was like,
Sorry,
why do you
that out
switch
loud.
subjects like that? That's all I kept thinking. I was like, okay, that's crazy work. Crazy work.
That was
Yes.
crazy. It was.
There's some fabulous words that we've collected in our Discord. So that's what we do. A lot of fun in our deconstruction. And we just want to keep growing the space. We don't know what it's going to be from week to week. We choose between the two of us and like what our availability is. But you can look out for us on Fridays around 3. And then I go live like randomly and play music and like just go over some of whatever gigs I have coming up, what I'm preparing musically. It's my name on TikTok is Tommy J Music, so I try and give some music as much as I can. Yeah.
Cool.
Tommy J, you're in Southern California, huh?
Yes, baby.
So am I. So maybe I can come see you sometime. I would really dig that.
We're actually June 21st. I'm going to be at the Santa Monica Broad, and I will send you the information for that.
Okay.
We're singing the story of blues and jazz in America. That's
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
it's going to be the bomb.
Did you
Yes,
ever see
Mezzo is out
Riverdance?
here too.
Did you ever
Mezzo?
get to see Riverdance?
I
No.
did not.
The jazz sections of Riverdance are insane.
Hey, I think a really great meetup for all of us that I'm really down for coordinating. I do this like on a grand scale, but I think we need to just plan it and start coordinating it. The Olympics is going to be here in Los Angeles, and I have an Airbnb. I'd rather it be filled with people that I
Wow.
want to meet from this community. And also, I know some other Airbnbs in the area. I just think we need to coordinate how we can all meet up for the Olympics. I think that's going to be
Yes, that would be amazing. I would love a West Coast meetup.
I have a recommendation for the Olympics. Don't go to Disneyland. The last time I was in Disneyland was for was it 88 Olympics? I know it's been a long time. And almost all the rides were closed because nobody was there. So they were like they're doing all their maintenance on like half the rides when I was there. They had one chance to do maintenance because everybody was at the Olympics.
I hear you, Grandma, but that was a long time ago. Disneyland is doing really well right now, but that's not where the Olympics is going to be. It's going to be spread out closer to LA. Cool. So if you're planning on making a trip out here for the Olympics, anywhere between downtown and the beach is a good place to look for boarding.
Nice.
Well, Crystal,
That would be awesome.
Crystal, I do want to say I learned a new word from a Christian, and it's called humble correction. Humble correction. That is the word that we are going to coin. Humble correction.
Why would you
It
get
is
up here and
it
say
is
that?
coined by Bad Bunny, Bad Ass Bunny. Humble correction. The Christians have been talking about a humble correction. I just want to put that out there. So when they start talking,
It sounds like something that makes guilt happen. Don't worry, I won't sing my song.
Well, listen, I've had a lot of fun. Tommy, Jada, thank you so much for joining me on my show. I've really enjoyed getting to meet you, and I enjoy your show. I popped into the Deconstruction lives where it's like just a nice hangout, people sharing their stories and, you know, just getting to know each other. And I love that part of the community. I really do. That's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to get to know people and share creators with people who might not have them come across their FYP, you know? Thank you so much. And it's funny to me that you say you got nervous because I don't get nervous very much when I do this show because I've done a lot of them now. It's like, oh, this is just what I do. But I got really nervous today too. So it's just funny. And there's nothing to be nervous of because we just hang out and chat. So again, if you are a creator and you want to be on my show, please send me a DM. Quan and Fox, I'm going to be DMing you guys. I hope you'll join me sometime. And I will, let me tell you when I'm live again because I've got some great shows coming up.
Hold on real quick, Crystal. I just have to say, I could not have done any of this without Jada. The only reason I started going live is because Jada agreed to go live with me. And so I would be remiss if you guys didn't know that people lift up other people for you to be able to go and do something. And you can't do that, whatever it is that you want to go and do, without people like Jada that push you. And Jada told me that I push her, but Jada pushed me. And that's the only reason we're here today. And that's why we're here together, because we do this on Fridays. We do Safety Con. We host this space, and I wouldn't be doing this without her. I do music. I don't do Safety Con. Me and Jada.
I just want to say I go there for Jada, not for Tommy. I go there for
Jada. Well, Tommy, I'll drop by just for you then, just to even it out.
Balance it out a little bit.
It's like the weddings where nobody's there for the groom and it's just everybody's there for the bride. Like, thank you. Thank you. You're just here to see me. Thank you.
All right, you guys, here's my upcoming schedule. It's not everything, but here's 3 of the shows I'll be doing in the next week or whatever. Tomorrow, I am live at 10 a.m. with Leaving Faith. Sarah, if you know who Sarah is, Leaving Faith, she's amazing, a great creator on the app. And then tomorrow night at 6 p.m., we have a subscribers only live called Crystal's Elevation Station, where I'm going to get elevated and you guys can come hang out with me. And that's all we're doing. It's just the subscribers ask for it and I give them what they want. So,
Wait, Crystal,
and then
can you change does that change the rules if it's subscriber only?
what do you mean?
You can do
Can I
certain
open it
things
up?
on screen? No, you can do certain
Oh,
things
no,
on...
I can't.
Okay,
no,
okay,
I
okay.
can't do it on screen.
Okay. But you're just
gonna
saying
do
that's
it.
just who you're going to do it with. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I just won't be on screen, but you'll know. You'll know.
Our next live is about to be subscription only, baby. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, and then on Friday, June 6th, I have Tahir and Garnet with me. What time are we together? We're at 12 p.m. Pacific time for Decon Q&A with CrystalJae, and they are doing an amazing new podcast about deconstructing. So they're amazing, and I can't wait to meet with both of them. Fox, thank you for the subscription. You guys, I've had so much fun tonight. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, the gifts, and the subscriptions, and the new followers. Thank you all so much. I hope you guys have a good evening. Again, thanks for being here, everybody. See you around the mean streets of TikTok. Good night, and good night, YouTube.
Thank you.